Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon from every time zone, everywhere where you can get an internet signal, be it terrestrial, subterrestrial, superterrestrial, extraterrestrial, wherever it is you may be. Now, if you're in the past, you probably don't have internet. That means you probably recorded this on your iPad and took it back with you to the past. So we thank you for doing that and for spreading the word about what's
Yeah.
happening. Anyway, welcome. It's been a while. It's been a minute, so we're grateful you are here with us on the lovely Toast to Toast, where I am joined as always by my good friend and host, co-host, Dave. How you doing,
Hello.
Dave?
I'm doing good. I'm doing a little blurry. I feel like hopefully my internet holds up for this show.
Someone's using their internet bits to travel into the past.
Someone's using the internet bits to travel the past. That's what happens when you live in a not a house but apartment. What are you gonna do? Sometimes things happen. Hey, speaking of time travel,
Yeah.
it's been a minute since we did this, eh?
Yes.
Little bit.
I don't
But here we are.
I mean that's just sort of one-to-one time travel into the future.
I usually travel through time at the speed of time. That's my preferred method. Yeah. Should we kick this off with a little toast, Paul?
We should. What are you enjoying this evening?
Tonight I am enjoying Dunrobin, which is a delightful rum from Ontario. I think it's only available in Ontario. Cask aged rum. It's got a little bit of maple syrup in it, and it is absolutely delightful. Highly recommend if anybody gets a chance to try it out.
Amazing.
You?
I'm having some Dos Manderas rum.
Ooh, we're both rumming it up, eh?
It is a fancy rum.
Mm-hmm.
It's a birthday rum that I received for not birthday, Christmas rum.
Ah,
I as the traditional, for Jesus's birthday, you get rum.
Yep, that's tradition.
It's tradition. Anyway, so I cracked that open because I realized, hey, what am I saving this for? So yeah.
I'll tell you what you're saving it for.
Tonight.
This night, here, with you and me and all our friends.
So cheers to everyone. Thank you for joining us again. And it's been a bit here.
Cheers.
And a special cheers to the Tumblr Club.
I just realized, do we want to do bingo tonight?
No, then I got to do on-screen work and stuff.
All right, forget it. No bingo. That's on me. I didn't do it. I forgot.
Speaking of the time travel,
yeah,
I saw The Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Yeah. Well, how is it good?
It has Sam Rockwell in it.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a base level. Like, just if it has Sam Rockwell in it.
Yeah.
There's
it can only be so.
It can only be so bad. That's right.
Yeah.
It took a while. But it definitely, it grabbed me, and I'm still thinking about it a few days later. So that's good. As you know, I have a policy of seeing all the time travel movies.
You do see all the time travel movies. I definitely want to see it. Although I already have my tickets to see.
And
Project Hail Mary.
Hail Mary. I very much want to see. Very much want to see the Hail Mary.
I love the book, so I'm excited to see.
I haven't read the book, and I've been saving it to read after.
Probably should, honestly.
And I think that is normally the order of operations, because even if the movie's terrible, you can still enjoy the book. But the book sometimes make the movie seem sillier or bad or worse in some way. But I've heard a couple reviews now that said, it was having read the book was extra good experience. So I'm a little bit torn.
Which, to be fair, did you ever read Did you read The Martian?
I did.
So I think I read The Martian after the movie, but I think in a similar way, having read The Martian before wouldn't have diminished my enjoyment of that movie.
No, what I don't like doing though is I find my brain can't help but do a checklist of what's happening, or the book versus what I'm watching on the screen. It's definitely going to happen when I watch Dune Part 3, is that there's going to be constantly, which parts are they grabbing from which book, and what scenes are they leaving out, and my brain can't help but do that inventory.
If it's really good, I can I will get drawn in and won't.
Yeah,
If it's like sort of good, then. But yeah,
anyway.
I think it's probably better.
Yeah,
not
it's
to.
all the Order of Operations movie then. Why did I bring up the good luck, have fun, don't die? I had a point. It's gone now. Anyway.
Well, it'll come back. We got nothing but time to talk about tonight.
That's true.
So,
That's true. Because that's right. Because tonight is all about time.
Yes.
It's about accelerated time. Maybe Dave and I. So Terence McKenna is the guest tonight for the Art Bell show.
Yep.
And you and I know next to nothing about it.
No.
So
I have a rough idea of what it's about, but
yeah.
So
we're gonna see.
He has some novel ideas about the nature of time. That's what I know.
Indeed. But Dave, as you know, here at Toast and Toast Enterprises, we have our extensive office. We've foolishly put in a 99-year lease on a high rise.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it seemed like a really good idea in 2018, but now it doesn't seem so good.
But we've gone a few weeks without shows, and you know what? The rent people, the people who want the electricity and
they're called landlords.
Landlords. Yep. They want they want their monies.
They want their monies.
Where's the YouTube monies, boys? They say.
Where's the YouTube money? Why aren't you getting the YouTube money? And so on and so forth. So we appreciate how everyone in the chat will indulge us by having by allowing each show to be enhanced with a sponsor. We do appreciate that, because while yes, we always appreciate every super chat, we would do this for free, but we don't have to, Paul, because luckily we have a very special sponsor tonight. And Paul, I really am tremendously excited to talk about this week's sponsor. It is an extra special occasion tonight, Paul, because the sponsor of tonight's stream is joining a very exclusive club. That is right. Tonight's Toast to Toast has a returning sponsor. Alongside with the VIP members Pants and Dancing, allow me to welcome the third multi-show sponsor to the club, AI. That's right, Paul, AI, artificial intelligence. Now, fans who are watching this stream way back in 2023 may well remember, but honestly, probably don't, that the very first AI Mad was a little confrontational. There was some friction between the sponsor and myself. If anyone's curious about it, you can go ahead and look it up. It's the episode about the call that took down Art Bell. You've all got Google. Find it yourselves. I can't do everything for you, but you know who can? AI. That's right, Paul. Like Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, once AI is involved, somehow whatever is wrong gets solved. But let's just take a moment and pump the brakes here. Lately, there has been an awful lot of media hype and misinformation being thrown around about AI, about what it can do, what it can't do. And knowing our unmatched reputation for honesty and journalistic excellence, AI reached out to Toast to give them an absolutely unimpeachable and unquestionable platform to get the truth out there. The absolute last thing AI wants to do is overpromise and underdeliver. So they wanted to make sure that some guardrails were put up on the public discourse, some guidelines and realistic expectations set up so people would not get swept away in hysteria and mania like what you find on Reddit posts and technobabble TikToks. So let's clear the murky waters and help each other, our viewers, co-hosts, and our sponsor communicate and understand how AI can help you in realistic ways in your day-to-day life. To do that, I'm going to discuss a couple AI myths. Myth number one, AI can solve every problem. And it's embarrassing that I even have to address this. Obviously, AI cannot solve every single problem. Anybody who tells you that it can is either insane, stupid, or trying to swindle you. No, AI cannot solve every single problem. It can, however, solve every one of your problems. That is a scientific fact. Myth number two, AI is superior to human minds in every way. Okay, let's be honest. AI measures concepts like correct and true in terms of probabilities and has a built-in slant to tell users what they want to hear. And occasionally, there may be some consequences to that. But on the other hand, people are greedy, lazy, venal, cruel, petty, and short-sighted. So I'm kind of going to say this one's a toss-up. Myth number 3. AI is powered by super computational math engines that break down all data and provide the undisputable best answer to any situation. This is true. Again, 58% of the time. Still don't believe me that AI is for you? Well, before the show, I had AI whip up a report on Toast to Toast by feeding it the playlist on Paul's YouTube channel, and got it to whip up some suggestions to help with the show. Now, most of those suggestions were a recurring list of shows that we should do, and they mostly were Mel's Hole and Bug Shooting Bigfoot, which in AI's defense were 2 very good shows. But my personal favorite part of this report is the section describing the popularity of the hosts of Toast to Toast. And I read, this is a quote. The show Toast to Toast on Paulogia Live is generally hosted by Paul Enns, known as Paulogia, together with co-hosts such as Shannon Q. Sometimes there are other rotating guests from the online skeptic community. So there you have it. You too can have that awesome power at your beck and call today. And what's more, AI has a very special offer for viewers of this stream. Anyone watching us tonight can use the promo code Toast to Toast, that's TOAS2, TUASE, the number 2, TOAST, to receive at absolutely, positively no extra cost an impersonal algorithm and database to record and codify every single measurable aspect of your life to sell as a product to the highest bidder, or possibly be used as a building block in some horrific Frankenstein-like parody of creativity for future generations. And that's good, and we love that. So don't run to your nearest data broker today and sell your soul to AI. You'll be glad that you did. AI.
Woo!
And there's money there, Paul. Oh my God, there's so much money. It just keeps pouring in. So this was pretty good for us. This is a pretty
famously,
good deal.
Yeah, the AI companies, they like to spend money. That much we know.
That much we know. Yep.
After the Super Bowl ads, they said, "What's next, boys?" After
what can we do that's more expensive?
What can we do to top the Super Bowl? Let's get on Toast to Toast.
Let's get on Toast to Toast.
I'm sorry, Shannon, that you know that it seems like the robots out there think you're somehow connected to the show.
There was then a section. It then there was a whole section detailing like the subscriber count and the relative popularity of yours and Shannon's YouTube channels.
Oh, good.
And I was just like, wow, AI is just really digging in on Shannon here for some reason. It was, yeah. I was not mentioned. Sadly,
Shannon's is still more popular than this one, and she hasn't put out a video in like a year. So
well, just good work all around.
Good work all around. We have some super chats, Dave.
We have some super chats. Oh my goodness, Paul.
Timothy Harmon writes, "Does this sponsorship include a warranty against Terminator scenarios?"
Absolutely not. No. Next question.
I mean, it seems like sycophantic AI would come up with something. Of course.
Oh, I mean, AI will tell you it does. Yes. But the terms and conditions are quite clear. Yeah.
That would also be funny if it was oh, I lost it. If it was like, well, how close to the Terminator does it have to be before we pay out?
Yes. Yeah, that's
what if his name
clearly
is
more of a Battlestar Galactica situation going on here. Yeah.
What if it's Sarah Connor without the H?
Yeah. What if there's a Y in there somewhere because this is a millennial? Right. Melody Kate. Oh my
Melody
goodness.
Kate. AI told me Dave is MSN bot. Don't believe it. Cheers. Or don't believe it. Cheers. I don't know.
Don't believe it. Cheers. Sam, Fraser, Norm, Cliff, the whole gang. Don't any of you believe a single bit of it. Even Coach, R.I.P.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, did you see that
Mhm.
the Dunkin' Donuts commercial that they played in the Americas?
Oh, we have a follow-up, Paul.
Oh.
Member chat from Melody Kate. Correction, which is Manbot, not MSN.
Oh, good. That makes a lot more sense.
That does make a lot
I
more
was trying to
sense.
say, like, is there some news situation?
Yeah. Because how'd the old Manwich tagline
Anyway,
go with sandwich or something?
you're a man bot,
I'm a man. Damn right I am. Mm-hmm.
not a boy bot. That's for sure.
I'm not a boy bot. I'll fight anybody who says that I am.
All right.
What were we talking about? Super
I don't
Bowl
remember.
ads? Something?
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say they had the Cheers. They had the one commercial from the '90s, the Dunkin' Donuts, where they de-aged everybody,
Right.
and it had like Jason Alexander, like the cast of Friends and the cast of Cheers and the cast of Seinfeld and the Fresh Prince, all those people, and it just made me sad for everyone involved. It didn't make me nostalgic; it just made me sad.
I did enjoy the banana ad, the Ben Stiller and
Except
did you? It's like, but the 2.5 minute, like the full version.
I saw
of that
like
video?
the full one.
Yeah.
Except every ad during the Olympics was that ad.
Oh, so I didn't watch any Olympics on TV. I was watching. I just watched stream.
But even on streaming on Gem or whatever, they still had that ad on playing in there, and it was always just yes, Instacart lets me choose my bananas. I get it.
Yeah.
And my mind also started wrapping around. Okay, so someone went to a focus group and said, "Why don't you use Instacart?" He says, "Because I like to choose my own bananas," and they got that answer enough.
Yeah, because my bananas are always too green or not green enough, whatever the answer is.
That they said, okay, now we're going to spend money on Ben Stiller and this big ad and going to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because the holdup is people want to choose their own bananas.
We're going to create a 2.5 minute mini drama about some siblings who apparently are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like, from my former marketing days, I like to think about that sometimes. But what focus group prompted this ad?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, let's given that we don't have other shenanigans, let's roll into the show. Do you have any other introductory thoughts, or just jump in?
I think we can just jump right in.
All right. If you don't know who Art Bell is, you're probably here, you're new, and then welcome.
You can spend some time talking about my new blood pressure medication. That sounds like
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Oh, I'll bring it up. I'm on fucking blood pressure medication now, everybody. But, as I was saying to Paul before, it's not like I was surprised. You can't. It's not, I know what my diet is like. I know how much exercise I do. This is what happens.
Quasamayo member chat. 29 of 30 months, sponsored by Asinine Intelligence.
That is accurate.
That is what's being represented on screen right now.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what we got going.
All right, so here we go. We got Terence McKenna.
Who's to say it wasn't?
Who looks like he's related to someone who was on.
It was a simpler time, Michael.
Anyway,
Ming could just show his breasts without it becoming a whole thing.
What's the
yes?
What's the kid? Not the Kids in the Hall. Kids in the Hall. Yeah. Yeah, this Terrence, he looks like he's related to one of them, and you can't decide which one. You're like going back and forth. Which one is it? Bruce? Is it Lou? It's just like,
you wouldn't think it was weird. Yeah, I will also say Terence McKenna is like, that's peak Canadian name. Like that's the most Canadian name. It's right up there, right?
It is right up there. All right, here we go.
All right, this should be most interesting. First, let us see if we can establish contact. Terence McKenna, are you there?
I am, Art. Good evening. How are you?
Well, I'm just fine. You have a theory about time actually Terrence
No,
is one of my
even his
favorite.
voice. I'm just picturing him as a Kids in the Hall character, and it's all,
right.
I am Art. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. You're just, yeah.
Oh, we have another member chat
I mean, technically.
from one Shannon Q, famous from the AI recommendation.
Yes, that's right. Member for 37 months. Unbelievable. I haven't been a member that long.
Shannon, you may want to check your email because apparently AI likes you better than it likes us. So it probably wanted to give you the sponsorship money.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that is a lot of people. More people like Shannon than like us. But yeah.
You would get a farther reach, much farther reach.
All right.
Yeah.
All-time topics. Before we launch into what you think about time, tell me what you think time is. In other words, is time our invention, or is time a real thing that I realize we're measuring it, but in the cosmic scheme of things, is there really time?
What? Art? What?
I get what he's trying to
What is
say.
Steelman this question for me?
Is time a construct of human consciousness? Is there actually a measurable, like, is time a real property of reality, or is it our consciousness imposing an order on the universe that doesn't actually exist, and cause and effect are in fact not directly related? Like, is it all, as Doctor Who would say, a bowl of wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff, and it isn't a clear A to B to C progression?
Okay, let me see if I'm on the same page as you. Is Art asking?
Yeah.
Is Art asking if there was no consciousness in the universe, would there still be time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Like, is
There's
time
like
just because it's
like
obviously
it might have been
Go ahead.
Albert Einstein, some very famous physicist. I remember once said, I'm going to butcher the quote, but time is something physicists invented to make motion seem simple. The idea that it's like none of this is as simple or straightforward as you think it is, and things aren't as clear. Now, I mean, like, that's not a set thing, but that's a very definite theory in physics.
Your phrasing is better than Art's, so I will allow it as we go forward.
You'll allow it. Yeah.
Michael Mesleros, and he's long time channel booster.
Very long.
Says even I have a YouTube channel. Go figure.
It's I think technically everybody.
I think technically, if you have an account
right?
on the YouTube,
yeah. If you have a Google account, you have a YouTube channel.
No, I don't think that's true.
That's true, but if you have a YouTube account,
yeah.
You give me a perfect entree to launch into this thing. See, in the West, we have inherited from Newton what is called the idea of pure duration, which is simply that time is sort of a place where things are placed.
Come with me and you'll be in a
place
time of pure duration.
Okay, so now have you ever seen the show Smiling Friends?
No.
So it's an Adult Swim show.
Okay.
And it's very funny, and you would really like it. There's a character in it named Alan, and he sounds exactly like this guy, and that's all I can.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I can think of. Yeah.
So that they don't all happen at once. In other words, it's viewed as qualityless. It's an abstraction.
Our show is also viewed as qualityless.
Yes. It's an abstraction.
Yeah, Toasted has no quality. Yeah, no. Olivia writes, what surprises me is I have subscribers. Well,
it doesn't surprise me. Olivia's fantastic.
Amazing.
I'm going to subscribe later.
You can subscribe to channels with no videos.
Yep. I'm going to wait for that cutting edge content.
That's right.
fact, I think when we carry
I like
out
subscribing to people that leave
analysis
hateful comments on Paul's video. Just give them a thumbs up every now and then.
of time, what we're going to discover is that, like matter, time is composed of elemental, discrete types. You know, all matter, organic and inorganic, is composed of 104, 108 elements. There's arguments. Time, on the other hand, is thought to be this featureless, qualityless medium. But in fact, as we experience it as living, feeling creatures, time has qualities. There are times where everything seems to go right and everything seems to go wrong.
That's true.
That's not a quality of time. That's not a property of time.
I also love that he's apparently putting forward the argument that most people consider time's like just so time is a thing, for lack of a better
Time isn't a noun.
word. In his description, it is. I mean, I guess time is also a noun because you can't have time or waste time or lose time.
All right.
You can use time as a noun. But I don't think you would find many people who would say like time is a medium or a substance, or like there's like time something you can cut up or measure, and there's different types or blocks of time. Like time's not
made of elements. Like, he was like, I don't know if it's 108 or 109. No, that's not where the debate is, Terence. That's not where it's not.
This isn't we're not swimming through a literal ocean of time that we literally swim through. That's poetry. That's just something someone's saying.
You know, sometimes people are happy and sometimes people are sad, and that's a property of time.
Do you want to see? I got a little surprise gift in the mail this week.
You did?
I did. Look, it's a little crochet. It's a little Cthulhu.
Oh, it's a Cthulhu.
A little cute Cthulhu. Oh, he's got little wings.
Did someone hand knit that for you?
I assume it was. It just showed up on my desk, mailed to me.
Amazing.
From a good friend in Kamloops. So that was like, ooh, look at that. Surprise Cthulhus are the best Cthulhus.
Noise ending that is that's very disturbing. Gavin. Gavin Ortland is a apologist in the apologetic sphere.
Oh, I see where he referenced Terence McKenna's support, whatever point he was trying to make. Well, that's a bad sign. Your argument. Yeah.
I mean, we've only listened we've listened to like 90 seconds, but it seems like it's a bad idea.
Like a physics page referencing Terrence Howard to support there. Yeah. Oof. Rough. I haven't read your arguments yet, but this is not a good start. If that's in your list of citations. Yeah.
You know, Joe Rogan says, "Oh, okay."
I would put that.
Actually, that's ahead of the other two. Of course, yeah, it is. You're not wrong.
It would be more like, well, you know, Nick Nolte says, it's like, oh, oof, buddy. It's not a good start.
Nope.
Oh, that's what Ted Nugent says about this political view of yours. That's great. Paul, we have another member chat. We have another super chat. You missed a member chat, I think, from Brain.
I thought I got that one. Oh, I put it up on screen. I didn't read it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, it was the alcohol. Need more alcohol. Yeah. I think there it is. Yeah, there we go.
Here's my obligatory member chat.
Yep.
I need more alcohol. I agree. If you're going to be watching us, you definitely need some alcohol.
And I got distracted by Terrence's stupid question. Anyway, Fred say so. Says there is no past, there is no present, there's only now.
I think it's Fred.
What?
Sorry. I think it's Fred says so.
Fred says so. Oh, that makes sense.
Fred says. Yeah.
And even that is a nanosecond. Even that is a nanosecond ago. Yeah. So Fred says so. I think Fred says so, and Fred says so. It's correct.
Yeah.
It's like for the Bible.
I think
tells
Master.
me so.
I think Master Oogway put it best. The past is history. The future is a mystery. There is only now, and that's why they call it the present. See?
Delightful.
Everything you know
Dave.
in life's in Kung Fu Panda.
That's absolutely true. I've wondered
That's
about that
absolutely
all
true.
my life. There are periods of time where, in effect, you can do no wrong.
Right.
And other periods of time where you can do no right no matter what you do.
So when looking at this, I created a vocabulary. Actually, I borrowed it from Alfred North Whitehead, but I think
So you didn't create it at all, did you, you liar?
By
This is
created, I mean I plagiarized.
I guess at the very least you came right out and said for Let's start by saying I created, by which I mean. Yeah.
I wrote a book called Cat in the Hat. Now, I didn't actually write it.
But I do sell
did
them
read
down by
it.
the park.
That's right.
Which science has missed, and it's this. It's that the universe, or a human life, or an empire, or an ecosystem, any large-scale or small-scale process can be looked upon as a kind of a dynamic struggle between two qualities, which I call habit and novelty. And I think they're pretty self-explanatory.
Habit?
They are not.
Habit
They're
and
not.
novelty? Was the first one habit? Or I heard.
I thought he said havoc, but maybe he said.
Oh, he
havoc.
may have. No, the first one was unclear to me. It's got that. It's got that bit of it. This is an authentic recording from 1990s.
Six, I think this was, wasn't it?
Yeah, some of that dirt in it, grit in there.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's listen to. Unless on the chat, was it havoc or habit versus novelty or something else? Maybe halibut,
which is
I don't know.
which Terence assures us is self-explanatory.
True, but he will go on to explain it, I hope.
I'm sorry, habit and what?
Novelty.
Novelty.
Okay.
Novelty.
Right.
And habit is simply repetition of a step.
And that makes more sense. Habit meaning novelty would mean, of course, having a unique
Something
novel.
new. Yeah.
And habit is what you do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, ironically, this show straddles that very line. We do the same show all the time. But will we be on? I don't know.
That's who can say.
So it's novel. We fall on that exact dividing line between novelty and habit.
You know what I just realized, Paul?
What's that?
Just now, looking at my avatar on the screen there.
Yeah.
I have been wearing my shirt inside out all day long.
Oh, neat.
It's just a black, cover shirt. So I'm like, wait, I shouldn't see buttons when the collar is flipped open like that. That's not right.
Did you go to work like that?
I sure did.
Yeah.
All day. Yep. That's it's fine.
Fortunately, that handsome beard distracts from.
It does. Yep.
Whatever's going on with the shirt.
There's a whole lot going on here that is very distracting. So it works out in my favor.
Conservation, holding back.
No one I work with is really too sure what I actually do, like in a given moment. They're just like, he's just the guy that sort of keeps the computers working.
Yeah.
So I just I'm just left to my own devices more or less for most of the time. Just hang around in the odd time when someone wants something or something goes wrong, and then people come and talk to me. Other than that, just doing things.
Already been achieved into a system, and novelty is the chance-taking, the exploratory, the new, the never-before-seen. And these two qualities, habit and novelty, are locked in all situations in a kind.
Should be novelty and mundanity, Dave. That would be a better opposite. The mundane and the novel.
That would be better.
Struggle. But the good news.
But I can't just go up making vocabularies. I got to borrow them from other people.
You could. Well, you're borrowing from Terence McKenna.
I borrowed
maybe
one.
You could
from
reach
him.
out to. Maybe he needs a consultant. You could punch up his presentation a little bit.
That's right.
I have no idea if Terence McKenna is.
If you look,
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't either.
at large scales of time, novelty is winning. And this is the point that I have been so concerned to make.
I'm so sick of winning, Dave. So sick of winning.
That I think science has
What?
All signs point to that trend coming to a halt any second now. Yeah.
I was assured by somebody. I forget who it was. Somebody said that by this point in time we'd be sick of winning.
My diamond shoes are too tight.
Yep.
Well, it's too small to hold all my 50s.
Look, that if you look back through the history of the human race or of life on this planet or of the solar system and the galaxy, as you go backward in time, things become more simple, more basic.
Yes.
And so turning that on its head, we could say, as we come toward the present, things become more novel, more complex. So I've taken this to be actually a universal law affecting historical process, biological process.
So, I mean, we have laws of entropy that are going to definitely at some point kick in there.
Mm-hmm.
This
well,
is
I mean, people who don't understand time have those laws.
Oh,
he does. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, this feels like a bit of a deepity. Things were simpler earlier. It's like, well, okay, if you go back to Planck time, yeah, we only really had hydrogen.
And I think it's even worse because I think
One point
he's
we had
literally
only
talking about
photons.
like society. I think
he's going to point to things like, well, we didn't used to have as many elements as we do now, so things were simpler, and apply that to say, so the 1950s were better. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
That's not how that works. Yeah.
And astrophysical processes. Nature produces and conserves novelty. And what I mean by that is, as the universe cooled, the original cloud of electrons.
If that was true, we would still have dinosaurs. If nature preserved novelty, we would still have saber-tooth tigers.
But they wouldn't be novel anymore. So isn't that part of novelty? Is you gotta clear out the old for the new?
No, but he said it preserves novelty.
Yeah. But is it the essence of that? There's always something new, something more complicated, something better.
Oh, I thought he meant that the one unique novel, one of each novel thing would be preserved. You're just saying that the only change is change itself.
Yeah, the concept of novelty is. Well, I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
All right.
What? I guess we'll see what he's saying.
On plasma, eventually atomic systems formed. As it further cooled, molecular systems, then long-chain polymers, then non-nucleated primitive DNA-containing life, later complex life, multicellular life. And this is a principle that reaches right up to our dear selves. And notice, Art, it's working across all scales of being. This is something that is true of human societies as it is of termite populations or populations of atoms in a chemical system. Nature conserves, prefers novelty. And the interesting thing about an idea like this is it stands the existentialism of modern philosophy on its head. You know, what modern atheistic existentialism says is we're a cosmic accident and damn lucky to be here, and any meaning you...
Yep, that's what I say.
It's just you guys weren't around, but when Paul and I were chatting before the show, he said to me, "We're a cosmic accident, and we're damn lucky to be here." And I said, "Speak for yourself. I'm on blood pressure
and you said,
medication."
Say something novel for once, Paul.
Say something novel for once. Yeah. This is why nature abhors you.
Yeah, that's right.
You're mundane.
Also, I don't think his theory works with Hollywood's love affair with the sequel.
Yeah, I mean, his theory also doesn't work with observable evidence, but we can comment about that after. I mean, like, okay. Let him go. In a way, it like it's the thing where if you cherry pick, if you only look at biological systems on Earth, in absence of anything else, I guess you could make the argument that this is correct, that this is what's happening, right? History seems to be going from less complicated to more in an ever increasing you know, arc line, whatever. Throwing out the fact that entropy is a thing, and that only works if new energy is being poured into a system from somewhere, right? Nature does not prefer complexity. Nature prefers simplicity, and all things tend towards simplicity. Energy always moves toward a lower state. Matter moves towards a simpler, more stable, whatever the most stable arrangement of things are.
Yep.
Things will be evenly distributed, but yes, everything tends down in a system, not up, unless new energy and matter is being injected into the system, in which case things happen, right? And then you get all kinds of interesting.
Yep.
For example, a star constantly beaming energy, into a biological system, and geothermal energy constantly being added into a biological system, and nutrients from various sources constantly being added to a biological system. That will, buck that trend.
Right. Yeah.
But if you look at the universe as a whole, that is absolutely not the case. What do you say?
And even in biological systems, he's very much, it's confirmation bias, because as we know, a mutation can be neutral. It can be positive for the environment, and it can be negative for the environment. Of course, depending on environment, in one could be, which one's positive, but like a polar bear, that, hey, it's got a mutation. Now suddenly it's bright blue. I was like, well, that's very novel, but guess what? That's not a very good survival trait.
No.
It's so in the Antarctic.
No.
So
nature does not always
like.
But again, it's, as you said, I think it's is in some ways his choice of words is unfortunate, because I think his concepts aren't that's not necessarily the concept he's trying to get across. He's just chosen very dumb vocabulary for some reason.
Indeed.
The habit and novelty. It's like, what, really? That's okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we must there we go. Super chat.
We got a super chat.
Timothy Harmon.
Thanks, Timothy.
No, nature prefers habit. That's why it's habitual.
I mean, honestly, he's right.
Like, no, I think you're right. Like, I think, I think there'd be endless examples where.
That's why it's called habitats, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nature does actually prefer. Yeah.
Get out of the situation. You're simply conferring. I say no. By looking deeply into the structure of nature, we can discover that novelty is what nature produces and conserves, and if that represents a universal value system, then the human world as we find it today with our technology...
He's about to make me very angry, so you cut him off.
Sorry, you can rewind a little bit and let him go. But
it's all right. That was because I'm predicting. Because what he's so. He started off. Well, the dirty, filthy atheists say we're a happy accident, but I see now that there's a property of nature that prefers novelty, and let's say that was true. Right. It can still be an accident. Like, that doesn't mean. So now he's going to equate that his flawed observation that nature prefers the novel is also going to be evidence of some kind of supernatural thing, and I'm angry about it.
I love that he's like, within the nature that I can observe on Earth, I see this thing, and so from that we can infer that this is a universal law.
Right?
Like, what? I don't think we can, but
that's not really how laws work. No.
Yeah, certainly not universal ones.
and our complex societies represents the greatest novelty so far achieved. And so suddenly you have a basis for an ethic. That which advances novelty is good. That which retards it is to be looked at very carefully. Let me make...
Famously.
Okay, this sounds like a supervillain origin story or like a villain in a James Bond movie, right?
Yeah, it does.
I have this convoluted logic chain. So anything that advances novelty is good. Ergo, shut the fuck up and let me graft this robot arm on you.
I know, right? That's what I was. That's how you get the. I'm making blue polar bears over here.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, baby wants his brain back inside his skull. Well, you know what? Nature's on my side.
That's right. So you're exactly. This is the exact dialogue, and you see it's the opening scene of a movie, and there's a scientist, and you can't see what he's working on, and it'd be slowly panning out as he gives this dialogue, and then it would be like human Toy Story situation going on. I've stitched someone's head onto.
Yeah, the hero's chained in some kind of glowing chains that go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the villain's up explaining, this is why can't you see my genius? This is really, I'm the hero here.
That's right. You know what's more novel than anything? An arm growing out of your head. So come on.
Yeah.
Woo.
Anyways.
Here, before we leave this time thing, I said I'd identified a tendency in the universe which science had missed, which was to conserve novelty. And then you asked about the internet, which sort of led me to the second half of the observation. Not only does the universe have this preference for novelty, but each acceleration into novelty has proceeded more quickly than the ones which preceded it. So, for instance, the slow cooling out of the universe led to the slightly more rapid appearance of organic chemistry, which led to the quite rapid evolution of higher plants and animals, which led to the hysterical pace of human history. And I see no reason to suppose that that process of acceleration will ever slow down.
Is it, Terence, a linear process or an exponentially accelerating process?
It's an exponentially accelerating process, which leads to a kind of end of the world scenario that has made a lot of people place me out with the squirrels, because I'm saying that this
place you out with the squirrels. That's some. I don't think that's a metaphor. That's what. I guess it was a childhood punishment in his house. Okay, Terence.
Actually,
out squirrels. To the squirrels.
Process of novelty is now moving so quickly that within our own lifetimes, it is going to accelerate essentially to such an intensity that we will be experiencing more novelty in a few weeks or days than.
Got something's brewing outside my window. Pardon us.
We previously experienced in the whole life of Cosmos.
My God, you have described precisely what I have just written about. I wrote a book called The Quickening.
Bellinger is talking about squirrels?
Maybe.
Is that the problem? Yeah.
Someone showed me your book, and I said, this is in Atlanta. I saw it. I said, yes, this guy is on to this.
I'm on to it from, I guess, more of a pedestrian perspective.
Oh, missed the super chat, I think.
No, we didn't.
Oh, pardon me.
Than yourself after listening to your first half hour, Terence, but we're talking about, it suddenly dawned on me precisely the same thing.
All from a pedestrian perspective, not a reasonable scholarly perspective.
That's right.
Terence McKenna.
Like Terence McKenna, that's right.
Yeah. Who has looked at human society since the invention of the steam engine and said, this probably applies to all systems across the universe. Yeah. This breakneck speed of progress. That's what nature's like.
Because definitely one of the things we've definitely learned in hindsight, since this was, this is 30 years since this was recorded. In those 30 years, we've learned definitely everything conceals to I know everyone's got their own unique take on things. There's no hive mind. There's no talking points. Everyone's just got their own take.
I like that his definition of how novelty was ever accelerating is like Ken knows he was certainly cherry picking events from the history of the universe to create a timeline that's accelerating when these are just arbitrary points you're picking in the history of things.
It's right.
Right? Yeah. From the cloud of random subatomic particles in the Big Bang to organic molecules forming. There's there was probably a lot of stuff that happened in between those two things. You can count some of those, Yeah. Anyways, the whatever.
Been doing this talk radio program for about 13 years. The all-night show.
Right.
And I am a trained observer of events and people. And every night I've had to watch the news and dissect what is going on in our world to prepare to do this program. And in that 13 years, unmistakably, socially, economically, politically, environmentally, you name it, we can talk about it. In every one of those areas of human endeavor, things are beginning to accelerate. There's simply no question about it. And that sounds exactly to be the same thing you're proposing here.
Yes, where I've gone further.
Right?
I was going to question it, but then Art told me I couldn't, so.
It's unquestionable.
Unquestionable.
If you do, you'd probably get in trouble.
Yeah, or locked up somewhere novel.
The Who's Gal. That's where they lock you up.
Essentially.
Yeah. You're not novel enough.
Maybe the Clink.
I think that's where people go if you're too mundane.
Oh, I see.
What was the other one? Novelty and
novel and habitual. Habit.
Habitual, yeah. If you're too habitual, then you get the Clink. But if you're too novel, it's the Who's Gal.
A lot of people have noticed the time is speeding up phenomenon, but they tend to give credit to science or media or something like that.
That's right.
Or being delusional.
False truths, false facts.
Yes, what I'm saying is this is built into the laws of physics.
I think you're right. Terence, we're at the bottom of the hour. I think you're exactly right, Terence. So stay right where you are. Terence McKenna from the Big Island of Hawaii.
I didn't.
Guest, I'm Art Bell, and this is...
We didn't give it a scrub.
I didn't cut this one from music. I may have to, just do this in little spurts here.
DBC.
Little slow hand. See what he's gonna do.
Yep, that's us getting demonetized. That's the sound of.
That's what that is. Could you just can you mute it? Or go
what I need to do is just make sure it's
just break it because you can't have as much time.
9 seconds seems to be actually the magic
La ba da ba. Got me on my knees. I have no idea what this is.
So there's a new sitcom starring Tracy Morgan and Daniel Radcliffe.
I'm not aware of this. I've heard nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I forget what it's called. Someone in the chat remind me. It started last week. And it's essentially...
Is it called Tradcliffe? Because it should be.
It should be. So Tracy Morgan plays a disgraced former NFL superstar.
Okay.
Because he openly was gambling on football, on his games.
Yeah. On his own games. Yeah.
On his own games. And again, his complaint is that he was only ever betting for himself. So why no one should have a problem with this. But whatever.
Yeah.
But this is X years in the future, and the money's starting to go away, and people are starting to turn back. Anyway, Daniel Radcliffe plays an Oscar-winning documentary filmmaker.
Right. Okay.
And Tracy Morgan's character has hired Daniel Radcliffe's character to make a documentary about him to rehabilitate his image.
Right.
Anyway, but it's done basically in the style of Parks and Rec and The Office.
Right. So Daniel Radcliffe's character, is it that he's making a documentary about this documentary, and that's
yes, that it seems to be you're getting a lot of it from Daniel's side, the guys who his camera crew, like Daniel's trying to elicit and get the story out. Anyway, at one point, Tracy Morgan is like, "Well, I've come up with a solution now. When I say something and I don't want you to use it, I just sing Beatles songs." This is how it related. And so he started singing some nonsense song. And Daniel's character's like, "It's not a Beatles song at all. It's some nonsense kid song that someone has told him it's a Beatles song." Anyway, Daniel's like, "Oh no, we can't use this. Oh no." That's what I felt like we were doing during. Anyway, this all relates. That's what I felt we were doing during this little.
Reggie Dinkins. Does that sound right?
Reggie Dinkins. That is absolutely it.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Jay Cool.
And Horatio Sands. It's not Horatio Sands. There's an old former SNL guy who plays a friend. Anyway, he on the first day, "I'll give you a bunch of Jim from The Office out cuts," and he likes this character's like very presciently turning to the camera and making a weird face.
Yeah.
And then again, the very serious documentarian is like upset about this, but like 2 episodes later, he starts using. He's like, "Yeah, that turned out that was actually useful."
Oh, Bobby Moynihan? Is that the
Bobby Moynihan? That's who it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins. That's the name.
It's a cute show. But I just laughed. I thought the best joke was that he thought this particular weird song was a Beatles song and ruining the takes.
Yeah, because you can't pay. The joke is right. You can't pay the.
Can't pay the rights.
Just singing some nonsense.
Anyway, you and I are still riffing about this music. Here we go. That's a lot of music.
That's a lot of music.
I didn't do my job this week.
Nope.
Beep, 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 beep.
The fact that it is not mass communication that is beginning to quicken things, but there is another process at work. Now, I don't know what that is, and I don't know where it's leading. In other words, people will say, well, when we finally get to this crunch point, whatever that is, what will happen? And I don't have that answer. I'm just a talk show host, an observer. But maybe you do. When we finally reach what you call Timewave Zero, what is going to happen?
Well, the only way to predict what's going to happen is to look at the quality of what has happened as the quickening, as you call it, has begun to accelerate. What it's been characterized by...
That's from that movie! It's the quickening!
It's the quickening! I feel it!
Paul, we have a member chat.
A member chat? Oh, wait.
Member chat.
Where my
from Mark Fernkoff.
I see that. So 2 episodes of Doctor Who missing for 61 years have been found. Well, that's cool.
Yes. From I think they're called The Nightmare of the Daleks or something like that. Old school black and white Doctor Who. I have not watched them yet, but yes. Dalek Master Plan, episode 2 and 3. Yes, that's what it is.
Well, where would one watch them?
Well, Mark Fernkoff says BBC iPlayer on April 4th.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good.
It was like in some box in some guy's attic or something like that. They found these tapes from the 60s. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because famously, unfortunately, the BBC at one point decided we're going to save some money and start reusing tapes.
Yep. That's exactly right.
And then many Doctor Who episodes were lost. I also discovered this week that Mystery Science Theater 3000 has a YouTube channel.
Oh?
And they put up full episodes.
I'm surprised that they can.
They did. There's a lot of them up there. Anyway, so that's been fun. Forget forget news. I'm tired of news, and I'm tired of comment people. But you know what?
You just
Cheesy
do that.
people making snarky comments to cheesy movies. That's my new. That's my
Your
new
new
work
thing.
assist.
I mean, I've just got all of it saved on my media server, but yep.
They
Do you,
do.
Paul?
I was realizing the
you,
Mystery Science Theater 3000 wasn't didn't. I was like, when did they do an episode on Big Trouble? But I realized you were just talking about straight up. Do I have a movie that is a straight up? Is that
That's like your comfort food. Your yeah. I throw this on if I'm doing whatever other stuff, laundry, cleaning, whatever things. You just kind of have a movie on. Do you have one that you're like, this is my go-to?
Not one, no. Like I've put on like seasons of Corner Gas or The Office, or like there's certain shows like that where it's like I've seen them enough that it's like I don't have to pay that much attention. But the Star Trek / Star Wars movies, at least the old ones,
Yeah.
those also fit the bill.
Do you cherry pick? You know what I started going through the other day is all of the James Bonds in order.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In release order.
Yeah, I'm still in Sean Connery land.
Mm.
They don't all hold up. And I love James Bond. They do not all hold up. Yeah.
No, they don't.
All
right. Oh wait, we got Olivia. Super chat.
Williams, Purple Fairy.
There can be only one. Who wants to live forever?
Is there any kind of date for? I know what's his name? He injured himself or got hurt.
Oh no! So that already got healed. The Henry Cavill. So they've had shots.
So they're back at it, right?
Yeah. So they have had shots from filming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing they will be, if they haven't already wrapped, they will be wrapping soon because that was.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
I haven't heard anything, but I also I don't pay as much attention to movie news as I used to.
Well, and the other problem is, weirdly, the AI. Not to belittle our sponsor, but some people use the AI to put out fake news, Dave.
What? That's not morally responsible.
So, for example, I assume you've been noting that the cast of Serenity have been doing some Serenity / Firefly. Nathan Fillion's been going to all their houses and knocking on their doors.
I have because I follow Nathan Fillion on Instagram.
So so you're generally aware of that, right?
Yeah.
But so for a whole week, I've been seeing like here's poster for the Firefly movie or poster and it's like, and it's confirmed and it's done up as if it's a variety thing or whatever, and it's like so much, and anything about any Marvel movie, just any people are just manufacturing this stuff.
Yeah,
fake
and
news.
To be fair, that's not. They were doing that before
they
rise
were
of AI. They just cleverly edited trailers and stuff. Yeah.
So I can't even follow film news anymore. They kind of ruined it because it's like, no, I got to sift.
Yeah.
I have to actually know what the news is before I can look at the news. So it's,
Well, for me, it's like there are news sources that I trust, where it's like, well, this is, it's like I see a trailer. Well, this is on like MGM's official YouTube channel or something like that. So it's like, okay, well, this is probably real, or this is actually on Disney's YouTube channel, right? So it's like, well, this is probably a real thing. Whether or not it ever actually is broadcast or that's a whole other argument, but this at least is something that is actually being worked on or there's still certain like podcast reporting thing where it's like, like these people do actually fact check it.
Yes, but it's become tiresome just for the movie and things, something like movies to sift through that. It's annoying. I'm shaking my fist at the sky.
Okay, well, Michael is just throwing fighting words out there right now because Serenity did not suck, and I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you about that. Yeah,
I have to assume that. So some people didn't like that it had such a definitive ending, which I actually thought that was the best part about it. Yeah. We're just willing to kill anybody. Okay, like what the
because we all understand that this is the end, and that's
right. Like I don't know that I've ever watched a movie and felt that no one had plot armor, like that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one I didn't. I guess no, it's true. Anybody could have. They were.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Summer was the only one that was clearly safe, but
Even then, I was like, I could see him doing like, no, this is a heroic sacrifice. This is the end, right? Like I wouldn't have been shocked if it's like
that's how I
nobody
felt.
makes it out if we're alive.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like except
we saved the verse.
Except Book the Coward hiding on some moon somewhere, but
He was the first, and you never get to know his story. You don't know his past. That's just it. And they did it. Yeah. I love it. It's like someday you got to tell me your story. It's like no, I don't. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
You actually don't. Yeah.
Yep. Uh-oh.
What are we talking about? Time waves? Right. We're getting into
I got my little thing here broke down.
Uh-oh.
I got the clickies without the clickies.
Too much time. Too much time with the jibber and the jabber.
We were jibber jabbering too much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's get this fixed up.
Has begun to accelerate. What it's been characterized by is dissolution of boundaries between classes of people, bodies of knowledge, pools of capital, language groups, so forth and so on. And so it seems to me ultimate novelty must be a situation where all boundaries are dissolved. And of course, what that looks like, I don't know. I don't know whether it's a virtual reality where you become God through the...
How can you continue to
I
have
love that
novelty?
this guy keeps taking social trends in the last 50 years and are like, these clearly indicate universal laws. What? Because we're pooling capital? What are you even talking about? What the? Also, buddy, I got some news for you. You didn't know this, but that trend is not universally going in one direction. Turns out that sometimes the brakes get put on that real hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also, I do not see how the inevitability of novelty is uniformity. Well, eventually all windows get broken down. Well, then nothing will be novel because it'll all be one thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
What's more novel than a hive mind? We've all seen the board.
Utilities or exactly what it is, but it's clear to me that the human nervous system is globalizing itself, building a model of conscious thought on a planetary scale. Tens of thousands of people are participating.
We're what now?
The human nervous system is globalizing itself now, Paul, and building
if my nervous system could just keep what's currently happening, could it just keep this body going? Like, stop thinking expansion.
It's not what we're doing now. That's not what we do.
In this, none of them have a real notion what it's all about, but everyone is serving this sort of unfolding grand design. And, I think the emergence of alphabets was part of the quickening. I think the emergence of hominids out of more primitive primates was part of this quickening.
Does he think that's the order in which it went?
Yeah.
First we had alphabets.
Again, he's being pretty the word everyone's doing a lot of heavy lifting in this sentence. I'm going to go ahead and say, if you look at the population of the globe, I would posit that there are, in fact, a very significant portion of the population that is not contributing to this in any way, shape, or form. They are living their lives much as they have people in their geographic locations for probably hundreds or thousands of years. Possibly doing it while wearing a Coca-Cola t-shirt, but really, it's it's a very Western centric. This is very Western centric and very, again, end of the 20th century centric look at and just applying those lessons to, like, this is what all of the universal, again, I just love it, universal law. This is clearly a universal law. Yeah. The fact that we're inventing better radios constantly. The calculators have gotten so small. This indicates some very, poignant truths that those suckers, the atheists,
That's right.
They can't figure out.
Long time.
Are you able to discern any timelines to Timewave Zero?
Well, yes. I mean, we've been talking about this as a metaphor. What makes me, I hope, a little different from some of the other prophets in the marketplace is I've got a formal mathematical theory that, I mentioned habit and novelty, this dualistic flow.
Yes.
Because it is a dualistic flow, it can be portrayed like the ebb and flow of the price of a stock. In other words, it can be portrayed as a line graph. So
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and suspect, Paul, I may be putting words in Terence's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that. But I feel as though his definition of formal mathematical theory and yours and my definition of formal mathematical theory are quite different. Yeah.
I think maybe he was about to tell us what a unit of noveltiness is, since he's able to put it on a graph. What's a unit of novelty? What goes on the y-axis there, Dave?
What would you call a unit of novelty?
A novelty. That's a good question. Because I realized it has to be a very novel name. It couldn't be a boring name.
You couldn't just have whatever. I'm going to call it the POG.
Yeah, it would have to be like the
POGs.
the
PPM, POGs per million. Yeah.
Splatagudu, because it's very novel. How do you spell it? Well, everyone spells it different. That makes it novel.
It's the segues. You measure it in segues per.
Sure, the segues.
Yeah.
You measure it in Zimas.
That's the unit. Segues.
We have another super chat, Dave.
Oh my good, we do.
From Fred says so. There is only one universal law. Shit happens.
I mean, it does. Can't argue with it. Everywhere I'm looking, there's shit happening.
Even before there was biology, there was shit.
And it was happening.
Computer programs which produce what I call novelty waves. In other words, time
novelty waves
that picture the ebb and flow of novelty. And by fitting known historical and paleontological and geological data against these waves at different scales, I was able to finally discern a best fit. But the conclusion that it led to was very startling to me, which is this ultimate novelty, this transcendental object at the end of time, isn't millennia in the future. Mm-hmm. It is, in fact, slated to collide with historical necessity sometime in late 2012.
Ah, there it is!
2012.
I knew it was good. It's going to be 2012 or Y2K.
Yeah, Timewave Zero. You heard it here first. Timewave Zero hit us in 2012.
I'm excited to hear him explain how the Mayans were able to figure this out, because I'm sure
it does correspond with theirs. Yes.
Yeah.
So we didn't ever find out what a degree of novelty was, but he was able to plot it on a graph. So
yeah,
what a unit of. Anyway.
Now, I know you have some interest in the Mayan calendar.
I do.
I didn't know when I calculated this date that it was the same as the Mayan calendar to the day.
I'm going to be honest, Terence. I'm dubious. I am dubious of that claim, sir.
When you say believe it or not. I'm going to go with the latter. I feel like when you preface
there
a
are
sentence,
a plethora of time waves in 2012. Oh my goodness! Just
when you
happened
preface
to
your
pick
sentence
this.
with "believe it or not,"
Yeah. Hey, he crunched the numbers, Paul, and
He
the
crunched
numbers
the
showed what the
numbers.
numbers show.
measuring the ebb and flow of novelness.
Yeah.
Like,
First,
oh, hey, Terrence, there's a weird kid in Detroit. He's really weird.
and when
Did you
computers
plug
or
that
whatnot
in?
do things, it creates waves of novelness that presumably travel through the medium of novelty, which is, I guess, a thing that waves can travel to because it's actually a physical thing of some kind, creating other new things. It's not that someone makes a new invention or creation and that allows other new thing, because of this innovation, other new innovations can happen. It's the waves of novelness.
Yeah,
Paul.
Hey, Terrence, just for your data, my kid's 8th grade teacher, he just photocopied the lesson plans from last year. That's not very novel. As you put that on your graph, Terrence, it's not very novel.
Well, I feel that rural Canada is off. Like that's a place that's geographically low, and
it's just a novelty wasteland.
Yeah, like any physical medium, there's places where it's concentrated and places where it's it's a little thin. And
if there's a novel center to the universe, you're in the place where it's farthest from.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. There's certain communities and places that have a depressing effect on novelty, and they are preserved historically, and a bunch of them are around you. So
but what happens when a place like, say, a San Francisco continues to put out novelty at a high rate? Does it become then mundane that they are being there? Does their rate of novelty make it mundane?
That novelty becomes mundane?
Yeah, like it says, oh, there's San Francisco producing something weird again. And then it's like,
nope, because it's novelty is it's like a power station. Just because it's constantly outputting power, the power is still the power. You might be used to it. That's why his use of the word novelty is unfortunate, because you have to remember novelty is a physical thing that exists. So San Francisco is pumping it out and continues to, and much like since it's generating waves, this is actually, Paul, you've made an excellent metaphorical point.
I see.
It's concentrated in a place like San Francisco because the waves are crashing against each other. They're bouncing off each other, coming in. And as happens in a pool of water, you end up getting ever increasing turbulence and more novelty as the novelty breeds more novelty as the waves ping off each other. And venture capitalists and tech bros reinvent things that already exist, but call them pods.
Have you ever been to one of those? We have them in our large centers, the Asian markets, where it's like a grocery store, it's like a superstore, but everything is, kind of like it. Anyway, those are for me, those are novelty epicenters. Those are, it's like, why is there grapefruit cereal? Who wanted what? What's happening here?
I had a friend who teaches in China and was back home visiting because it's a holiday there, and brought a whole suitcase full of chip bags from China of flavor, like
amazing.
Lay's chips,
yeah,
all crazy flavors that they were in. Like some of them are really good. So I'm like, man, I wish you could get these. Yeah,
no, absolutely. That is one of my favorite things to do. Is to I go into those. My kids love them because they're actually buying groceries in them. That's just the way they are. But I like to take pictures of the chip aisle. Yeah, for sure. That's a fun thing.
Yes. And especially when you go through, and sometimes there'll be like deep discount ones you can get. But we got some super chats, Paul.
We do. All I want to say is, unlike You know, the boring, the on the mundane side is like, oh, we got an Oreo with slightly more brown filling than last time. Oh, all right, good for you, or your Oreo
Yeah.
novelties. Yeah, it's like this is
Yes.
nothing.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
super chats.
it's an Oreo with green food coloring. Super
Yeah.
chats. Oh
We
my
have
goodness.
Melody Kate. Ah, yes, us evil atheists. My sister passed this morning. I'm very sorry to hear that.
That's
If
terrible
I have to
news.
hear, oh shoot, if I have to hear the more
One
platitude,
more platitude.
one more platitude, I may shake a
shake
Christian.
a Christian. Yeah.
All right, I may
Life
shake a
is
Christian. Life
fleeting.
is fleeting. Like, live hard and drink deeply. Thanks for keeping me company tonight. My other monitor isn't working, so I had to shift to a different one. I'm sorry. It was a bad time.
Well, I can read super chats.
You
from
can
here
read
on
super.
out if you, yes.
So it was a bad
But
time for my
anyways,
monitor to go wonky. And we have another.
That is
Yes.
tragic
Yes,
news.
Melody Kate.
I feel like let's all take a moment and give a toast to Melody's sister.
I agree.
Here's to you, Melody, and
to your sister.
And whatever comfort our companionship can offer you tonight, we offer it freely, and I hope you and your family find some solace in the days ahead. Always tough, always a tough time.
And
here's to you and to Melody's sister.
And in the genuine sense, your sister was novel in the best of ways. In the good sense. Cheers. All right.
And
David MG Lines. Is that how you'd say it?
David M. Glines.
M. Glines. All right. Go for it.
Who was super before? I once ate 5 grams of mushrooms and transformed into a Mayan. Woke up on December 22nd, 2012, and was dismayed that I forgot to end the world.
Oh, no.
I was going to end the world, but then I got high. Was going to end all time and space, but then I got high. Moving to another place, but I got high. Then I got high. Anyways, enough of that.
Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy. Thank you for your super chat. In 2012, I was hoping for the awakening of magic like in Shadowrun, but I wasn't surprised when it didn't happen.
Nope. Shadowrun is a crazy cyberpunk role-playing game. Like think of like Neuromancer.
Okay.
Right? With like hackers and things. But also elves and dwarves and magic are real because like portals opened in the world and all these magical creatures came out. It's a very strange setting that is really cool.
The only thing that
carry on.
The only thing that got destroyed in 2012 was John Cusack's career.
Ooh! Was that in 2012?
It was probably 2011, I assume.
Yeah, I think it was.
Terence, what did you input to your database for this computer program? In other words,
what did I start with?
Yeah, what's your database of mundanity?
Yeah. Cite your fucking sources, Terence.
Well, I had a very academic interest in the Qing, which is a Chinese method of divination. And, everyone who's looked at this thing has been struck by the fact that it seems to work. And so I carried out a mathematical analysis of...
Yeah. See, there you go.
Thank you for the super chat. David Glines. Yeah. Paul remembers baby Mel's old Glines, not her dad. That's right. I remember.
I remember Mel. David. I remember. And the official baby of Toast to Toast, baby Melzol.
Wait, I don't know what Qing is, and I bet a lot of other people don't either. A Chinese method of divining. What kind of method? What is it?
Well, it's existed for thousands of years in China. It's sometimes done by throwing 50 stalks, or sometimes done with coins. But it's a method of producing a thing called a hexagram, which is made up of either broken or unbroken lines, but 6 on top of each other. So if you're
familiar with with I Ching, Paul?
I'm not. No.
So it's essentially like Chinese tarot.
Oh, okay.
It's not, but it's like so you throw up and you go like it's fortune telling. As you go,
I was
like,
imagining
depending on
like
the pattern,
casting
these
lots
things-
or 52 pickup or whatever. Yeah.
sort of like that, kind of
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So you throw things up, and depending on the patterns, it will predict things about your future. So that is the data that
That's the
Terence
data.
to create his what was the formal mathematical theory
That's right.
predicting
Well,
that the world would end in
at
2012,
least-
which was a date he wasn't aware was significant in any calendar in the world.
imagine my surprise.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Mathematician, you can figure.
I have all my friends live in, well, that's not true actually. Most of my friends live in Canada. See, that joke doesn't work when you live in Canada.
Mm.
Here we say we have friends that live in Sweden. That's the Canadian version of the friend in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, no, my girlfriend is a doctor
Yeah.
in Sweden. Yeah.
If it's made up of broken and unbroken lines and there's 6 of them on top of each other, there must be a possibility of 64 of these things. Thousands of years ago in China, there was a vast body of literary commentary built up around these hexagrams, and they have always been presented in a traditional order, a certain way that they are always presented. And I was studying a very academic question, which is this order of these hexagrams a true order, in other words, governed by rules, or is it simply a random jumble sanctioned by tradition? And this very obscure academic question led ultimately to the discovery that the I Ching was a 384-day, 13 lunar cycle calendar. And then from there I realized that this 384-day calendar was actually a nested subset in a fractal timekeeping scheme that was really more accurate and more sophisticated than anything in the West. So what I'm really suggesting here is that in the same way that the West conquered the nature of matter through the elaboration of modern science, about 4,000 years ago in China, a deeper analysis of time was...
Oh my.
So this is the physics equivalent of corporate speak. This is the
Yeah.
words that, like, he's just throwing out words, jargony words. These are the right, like, this is a nested fractal. Right? It's just like, but that's not what that means. You're not using this right at all. You're just throwing out words you've heard.
Well, were the rules or was it random? Well, actually, it turns out when you throw random sticks on the table,
Yeah.
it's both random and there's physics involved. So,
but it's not even. I mean, it's hard, but it sounds like, so he's talking about the way chart. So there's, like, there's all. It has been around for thousands of years and still very much in use today. But it's like, so there's all this stuff, like, you present, like, depending on the way, and you see. So it sounds like he's talking about, well, like, the patterns and charts and, like, writings about I Ching are, it's like, it's the patterns are always presented in this order. It's like, this is what this means, 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 right? So, like, if you're trying to interpret what your results mean, these are the things you consult, and that's always presented the same way. And is it presented that way because of some universal physical rule, or because somebody just decided, much like the books of the Bible, right, are always in the same order no matter what version of the Bible you're reading? Is that because it would be the same? Is that because there is a divine hand that is guiding and making sure all humankind always put these books in that same order? Or because this is just the consensus that was reached through, centuries of iteration, and at this point it's just become like, that's just what it is, so everybody just does that And, you know, you could put Luke, Matthew, John, and Mark, right? You could publish them in that order.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's not heretical. It's blasphemous. You're just printing the Bible in a different order, but nobody does that, which clearly means that God is directing. You know, there's no other way. There's got to be an overarching truth behind that.
Is this what I'm looking at here?
I think so. I mean, I don't know a lot about it.
Okay. So this doesn't even sound like random. It's like this just makes it looks like it actually makes characters with the anyway.
Yeah, I can't pretend I know how. I know
Right,
like roughly what it is.
It seems even more
movies.
Seems even more rigid than like just throwing the pig bones or tea leaves or whatever. But
right.
All right. Fair enough. But this is his data set.
That's his data set. There's something about the presentation of I Ching data it led him to these.
That's right.
Okay.
Timothy Harmon sent a $2 super chat. My Canadian girlfriend is novel.
My Canadian girlfriend would be very novel, sadly. And then
Kichin He says, so like an ancient Sears catalog?
Yes, Casey. I remember being excited when Sears and consumer
distributing.
Because you'd see all the new toys.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You could look and see what the new Lego
there was no toy fair for us. That's right. The first time you'd find out.
Yeah. Ooh, look at the new space Lego.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yes, let's hear more about Terence's
groundbreaking stuff than has ever been undertaken in the West, and that the mathematics of this thing became buried then.
Rel's World, just in case you're just joining us, time ended in 2012.
Yeah, that's going to be the.
So yeah, I don't know if I doubt if he's going to give us an explanation as to what's happening here. Perhaps this is some kind of purgatory. We're in the TV show Lost or something.
Yeah, David doesn't predict that, so he can't say.
No, yeah. But time ended.
I remember. So C.S. Lewis and
never heard of
him. Tolkien.
Yeah,
who were friends in real life.
Correct.
You probably know. So they had this thing. So they each had their very commercially successful books. Tolkien, obviously, more so, but C.S. Lewis, right, being the Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia, and Lord of the Rings. And so I'm trying to remember exactly how this worked. So they had a deal like, well, we're each going to try to write a sci-fi series. We each wrote a fantasy series. Let's each try and write a sci-fi series.
Okay.
So C.S. Lewis wrote Out of the Silent, I can't remember, Paralandra, is that the name of the series? Like Out of the Silent Planet and something in that hideous strength. They're actually not bad.
Okay.
And Tolkien started writing a sci-fi series, which I used to have, like, he only got it sort of like a third of the way done before he passed away. But the premise of his book is there is a parallel world. The characters end up going to this parallel world, and it's a much more simple world than ours. But where our society and our Earth has focused on material science, they focused on time. So when the Industrial Revolution was happening here, and the steam engine and the locomotive and all of the things that were happening in the late 20th century, they had invented time travel and the ability to view and travel to other parallel time streams, because they had an understanding of the true mechanisms of time that was far beyond ours. and these characters kind of go and they'd see, but they're looking and they see our world and they're like describing it as like all these giant metal beasts that race at impossible speeds. They're talking about because they have no physical understanding of the material sciences behind it. And so these guys, and the characters from our world end up in this world and are just kind of like understanding this. And then the book ends because, you know, Tolkien died and didn't finish it. But I'm like, it was an interesting concept. And I'm a little like, it would have been an interesting book. That's it. He just reminded me when he talked about how in Western society we have focused on material sciences. But
gotcha. Oh yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
But in the East, they have an understanding of time we lack. With their fractal nested time things, yes.
In this fortune-telling system, and I basically teased it out, and in my book, The Invisible Landscape, and at my website, all this stuff is explained. It's quite...
Oh, Terence, what is your website?
It's at Levity. It's .levity.com. And then just click on Terence McKenna there. Levity is Levity.
So it's www.levity.com?
Correct.
We'll get a link up shortly.
Well, I think you do. I visited your website today. You've got good people.
Yeah, Keith he does a wonderful job. All right, well, so then you get there and then just click on Terence McKenna and be sure you're buckled in from the sound of what I've heard so far.
This doesn't seem like a very active website.
Is it trying to load the Macromedia plugin? And
oh, maybe. That's right.
Flash is no longer supported.
Unsupported version of Flash, yeah. All right, I'm disappointed.
Please update your to IE 4.0. Is that?
That's right. Works best on Netscape. Okay.
Works best on Netscape.
And I have a GeoCities badge.
Terence McKenna web ring.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
he
upgraded. He got himself TerenceMcKenna.com as the years went down.
Yeah. Fancy. Look, it's like stereoscopic.
That's
parallax. Like one of those. Remember the what did they call them? You know, when you were a kid, you had the
lenticulars.
Things you click it and the wheel.
They were
yes.
They were. Yep. Yeah, we got some parallax going here. Woo.
Yeah. Woo.
And does he address why the world is still alive? Has he done any updates since 2012?
Mole Men.
I'm not seeing dates on your blog.
Well, maybe if we hit the old Wayback Machine, we can see what he was writing in 2011.
Well, the interesting thing you see is with a wave like that, you can do what's called retrodict.
Oh, I think this answers the question when Terence left this world.
Oh, well.
So, like Tolkien, he had unfinished business.
Yeah.
So these guys aren't going to know why, everything existed. All right.
In other words, if you have a wave of novelty that describes the past,
yes,
you have to correctly predict the Italian Renaissance, the Greek Enlightenment, the modernity of the 20th century.
Yes.
And so
he passed away in 2000, Paul, so it would even get close to...
so he didn't ever come to realize that his predictions didn't come true in a way that's obvious to me.
No.
All right.
No.
Fair enough.
We've gained confidence that this wave predicts the future.
That sounds quite scientific. In other words, science is repeatability, and if you can...
Sounds quite scientific.
That
sounds quite quite scientific. Yes. Yeah.
I imagine you wearing a white lab coat as we speak.
Yes. Probably with a pipe. Yeah. But still a lab coat. Yeah.
Repeatedly demonstrate that you
sounds
can
like
mathematically show...
you suggest lobotomies for the lower classes. This all sounds quite scientific to me.
The events of the past, then yes, I would imagine you could project.
So I've been at this since 1975, but the theory is, in a sense, very conservative. It never says what will happen. It says when interesting things are highly likely and when you're just wasting your time.
When you look out or project out toward 2012, what is the magnitude of the spike or the difference there? If you can give us an idea of magnitudes along the way.
There is only one point in the entire cycle where the level of habit drops to zero. Effectively, then novelty becomes infinite. And that point occurs on this solstice date in 2012. Now,
right on the solstice in 2012. Wow. Yep.
What would infinite novelty means you couldn't eat food because everything would be incompatible with your system. Like it's so unpredictable.
Yes.
It's no longer carbon based. It's just
yeah.
There's some,
I mean, or are we talk is this the Thing situation? We just got crazy, uncontrollable, evolving life form absorbing. Like it sounds like a nightmare, right?
Doesn't sound good. But also, he can't tell us what's going to happen, just when it's going to happen, which is easy for you know what, David, midnight your time. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen. Oh boy, it's going to be big.
Well, I can't even say whether it'll be big or small, but something's going to happen. I
feel infinite novelty. That's,
I should have noticed. It's only 12 when.
Yeah. If my fire alarm goes off, my smoke detector, and you tell me that was the thing, I'm gonna call.
Well, that's not very novel because
See, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I feel like if infinite novelty is hit, then we're gonna know. Also, it makes me think Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? The infinite improbability drive.
Yes, the infinite probability drive. Well, yes.
I was able to acquire this week a copy, Paul, of the novel Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the collection.
Okay.
Not special. Many are out there.
I
was able to find one published in the span, so it's a collection in a single volume of the 4 books.
Okay.
The trilogy,
the 4-part trilogy, yeah.
Before a bitter Douglas Adams was forced by contractual obligations to write the 5th book that he hated.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because I do not enjoy that 5th book. Mostly harmless. It is garbage.
No.
So I found a copy that was written when this is and this is the whole thing, right? And like the universe and everything. That's the end of it.
Nice.
There we go. Boom. And that to me is the Hitchhikers that I want to remember. And so now I have that one on.
Nice. Yeah. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Some super chats.
Yeah.
We got Timothy Harmon. Novelty becomes infinite is an oxymoron. I would say so.
I mean, I think he just doesn't understand the science.
Timothy, you mean?
Yeah.
KC
and I.
Did we settle on how to say that?
I thought Casey, I'm pretty sure has spelled because we've asked. Has spelled.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm just not very good. Just simply love, y'all. Well, thank you, Casey.
Love. I think the world could just use a little more love in it.
Going for the stupid atheists.
Paul disagrees. So.
On the net called
Singular. But it's our differences that make us the same, right?
It's the novelty, Dave. It's my novelty. If everyone agreed that love what drove the universe, then you wouldn't have infinite novelty.
That's true. And you know what, Timothy? Don't feel bad because neither does Terence McKenna. So you're in good company.
That's not a prerequisite for being on the show.
Yeah.
And they're hard-headed engineering types, and they take things like rate of energy release, rate of data storage, this sort of thing, and draw all their curves out, and they conclude that sometime between 2000
Rate of data storage, Dave.
Right, yeah, they are calculating the rate of data storage, Paul. Do you know what rate of data storage is?
Well, I can imagine it's how quickly we're accumulating stored data.
Don't worry about it. They do.
They know.
And they're the ones calculating.
That's right. But that's not a great example because I can actually imagine what the unit of rate of data storage might be. You know, you can imagine, petabytes per second or something, right? You can at least imagine
that is a
what a unit might be like, but your rate of novelty, it's like you put it on a graph. Okay.
It's just, it's yep, all of this.
Yep.
And really, he's not explained at all what was the other one? Not mundanity. What's
habit.
Habit. He really hasn't explained the effect of habit on this system at all.
No.
All we've talked about is the if it's duality. I feel like one
really. It feels like in the movie of Terence McKenna's 2012. If you want to avoid infinite novelty, that's just everyone complying with everything. It's just like maximum. It'd be like THX 1138. It's like, well, no, if everyone does the same thing, it'll be fine. But as soon as anyone does something weird, we're going to be in trouble again.
And it's just like, so you have a system that's dual, like, so there are two intertwined and maybe competing. We don't know the relationship between these two forces, but there are apparently two forces that essentially govern all of reality.
Yeah.
But all we've talked about is one of them. Like, what's the other one doing? What effect is it having on the right? It's like, talking about like, you can't understand velocity unless you understand like speed and time. It's like if all you ever talk about is speed, it's like this means nothing.
That's right.
Right. Acceleration means nothing if you don't understand. It's like, oh yeah, you have to bring time into it because otherwise all you're looking at is like, and this is how fast this thing is going right now.
Oh, maybe you have steel-manned his argument. Maybe this is what time is. Time is without fully understanding time, Dave. We can't understand the global impact of novelty.
Ooh, well, fair enough.
2008 and 2020.
Okay, we did start by talking about time. I forgot about that.
That's right.
He
was brought on as the time guy, but he just kind of quietly said, Timewave Zero 2012, December 21st. Yeah, anyway.
We
also,
infinite.
Michael Zaros brings up a very good point, Paul. As the local shop steward, I feel I have to bring this to management's attention. Michael is the only mod working tonight. So,
well, I think if you want a modifier for your payment, sure, that works. We can give you time and a half.
As as the mouthpiece for management, I would throw and say if we're looking at a mod per user, I don't know how many people are currently watching this stream, but I feel like, probably one mod is inaccurate.
We're not breaking records. We're not the Turning Point half show with Kid Rock. We're fine.
And technically, I am also a mod. Not that it comes up much, but so there's all kinds of factual arguments we can come in.
Amounts of energy. We pack infinite amounts of data into infinitely small spaces. In other words, this same sort of thing where because of the acceleration.
That's the nicest thing anyone said to me all year. Did you see this?
The super chat?
Yeah.
I'll let you read it. You seem very delighted.
An atheist with your help, Paul. Congratulations, Paul. That's I'm sure you like to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Dave just looks nice. Love the beard. Well, I'm glad I'm really just happy to be part of the team.
You are the brains and the beauty. So I don't know what I provide exactly, but novelty maybe.
Yeah, that's it. I'm the
built into the unfolding of this novelty process. We're going to cross more territory between here and 2012.
Nice. That's
You must hear
I
that
like
all the
being
time.
less than you'd think. Less than you'd think. Yeah.
Just shh. You're here to look pretty, Dave.
I'm just kind of generically helpful, just kind of around doing
Mhm.
things, you know. Not any
I would say that
particular.
it's good. You are generically helpful. I would say that
Just that's just sort
if
of
you're gonna like, hey, you're gonna recruit someone, you don't know what the situation's gonna be.
yeah. I very rarely make situations worse, right?
Right.
It just
I-
kind of
I feel like okay, Paul, you're gonna be in a survival situation and you have absolutely no idea what the circumstances are gonna be. You gotta pick somebody. You'd be a strong contender there.
yeah, just kind of generic. You're gonna be. You don't know where in the world
That's
you're
right,
gonna be.
yeah.
You don't know what's happening. Whatever. Just
Exactly.
Sorta, yeah. Worst case
And we
scenario. There's a
cross-
lot of good eating on
Well,
these
yeah.
bones.
Yeah.
Just saying, right? If it comes to it.
Between the Big Bang and getting to here.
It's an incredible
This
thought.
T-shirt. This is one of my favorite T-shirts. Have I ever shown you this one before?
I don't think so. Live music.
Live
Mos
music.
Eisley can't see it, but it doesn't say the modal nodes or nothing. There's no band. It's just
No,
that's the that's
It's
a
just
shirt
Mos
for the
Eisley
venue.
Cantina.
It's the venue.
Yeah. Live
Yeah.
music, no droids. Yeah.
And
Because racism's okay if it's against robots.
well, but no offense to our sponsor tonight.
Look, I'll take their money.
They've already assimilated all the music. Don't kid yourself.
Don't for a second think that they're one of us.
Mhm.
I'll
If
take
you
your
want-
money.
If you want novelty, generative AI. That's what it's known for.
Yep, this is where you're gonna get something that nobody has ever seen before.
Yep.
It kind of explains what's happening, that it isn't the old style religion, but it isn't the sterile, steady state of
Give me that old style religion. Give me that old style religion.
science.
Good enough for me.
Dude, I don't remember all the words.
universe is
I wasn't really
actually-
ever like I know the song, but we never really.
It
I
wasn't.
never really-
It wasn't part of our congregation. I was just aware of it from other things. Yeah.
Yeah. But it predates kind of our
involved in
time.
some kind
Yep.
of process of self-metamorphosis, and human beings indicate that we have crossed some
We'll direct the sponsor gripe to your
Yes,
co-host.
yes, that's right.
What's funny? So the funniest thing about that to me is that I literally did feed the Toast playlist into
Okay.
like my work has a subscription, like an actual
To my channel.
to Anthropic, right?
Okay.
To use. So it's
That's
like,
the
yeah,
good one.
here's the data set. Look at all of this, and like based on this, tell like this. And yeah, the things that threw back. I could go through. So there were actually some points where it's like, no, this is actually really good advice. This is all stuff we know, but it's like if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, it's like, yeah, these are all really good ideas and things you should do if you were like literally serious about growing a YouTube channel. I'm like, read through. I'm like, there's 2 pages. Like, this is legitimately very helpful, right? And it was all about like community and niche, but like there was a lot of really good stuff in there. Stuff you and I know, like none of it's groundbreaking. But if I didn't know anything, I'd be like, yeah, if you follow these steps, it'd be absolutely. But then it was here's the 5 episodes I recommend you do.
Mm-hmm.
All of them were ones we had done except for Hail Bop, which is just kind of a depressing story, so we're going to do it. Then it was like, I can recommend more episodes. Would you like? Like, yes, please recommend more
absolutely,
episodes.
sure.
3. It was the 3
Same ones again. See, maximum novelty.
Would you like me to recommend even more? It's like, I would love for you to recommend me even more episodes. You'll never guess.
Same ones again.
In a different order. Yeah.
Maximum novelty. That's what we're getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I asked, like, is there any specific point that could be done with the 2 hosts you know, is to emphasize one over the other, is there's one that you feel has a better presence or go. And then that's why I watched it was like, well, Paul and his co-host Shannon, who doesn't have whose channel isn't, it's we should the thrust of it was you should try to phase out Shannon as a co-host.
Oh no,
your shadow grossly your channel overshadows her. This was Claude's advice. Is like, you know what, you gotta look. This show's great. We all agree the show's great. This format's really good. And Paul, you're doing fantastic work. Shannon, I don't know. Maybe we need to look at bringing in some other rotating hosts instead of just having her on all the time. Just like, oh Jesus. I don't know if this is throwing shade at me or Shannon or just generically everybody. But
I do wonder. I suspect
also
that
clearly thought that it was you that was asking because it was giving answers that you would like.
Oh, I
right?
see.
Like
Yeah. It's sycophantic in its own sycophantic way that it was doing the.
Yeah. it was so funny. I was
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh boy, yeah. We need probably less. She's not appealing to the same audience as you.
I assume
wow.
Because I've been uploading a little bit more on this channel with some of the live clips. Of late, and I was even thinking about it today. Just this weird thing of I got these callers from the call-in show. This is the crux of this channel, but also on occasion we do this show. And in my head, I was like, we're definitely confusing the algorithm here with.
Yeah, this is doing you no favors. Like,
no, it's not.
We should not be doing this show on this channel.
No, probably not.
When I say we, I mean you. You should not.
You don't care.
Very little difference in my life. Yeah.
That's right.
I have a job in a company with an office, and what happens on YouTube has very little impact on my actual day-to-day life and livelihood.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Boundary into a new era, a new epoch of ever greater acceleration into this process of self-revelation. I mean, this is what religions are raving about. This is what every prophet on the street corner is trying to articulate.
No question.
I think it's real. I think we're getting a lot of static because people can only deal with it through images that they know. Marshall McLuhan once said, we drive into the future using only our rearview mirror. And that's sort of what it is. But I call this thing.
That actually sounds like, what does that mean?
It actually
sounds like a cool quote, like you'd put on a poster in your college dorm room, but it's like, I don't know.
I don't actually, but I hope everyone would just be like,
that's so deep. That sounds very, that's right.
Yeah, you could have it right next to your picture of Che Guevara.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
The transcendental object at the end of time. And I think, in a sense, religion, Christian revelation, it will all be fulfilled in a way none of us ever suspected, because nature has this appetite for novelty and acceleration into novelty.
And so then again I ask, at this moment that we speak of, 2012,
right?
What do you think will occur?
Well, I've thought about this a good deal, and I've noticed that what the time wave seems most coherently able to track is technology. Mm-hmm. Somehow technology is very important. It's the transformation
almost as if
of the human
you are basing all of this on technological innovations of the
almost like, yep,
almost like, yeah.
You're ignoring biological innovation, chemical, all those innovations. There's nothing.
Yeah.
But we can record TV shows now? That's crazy.
This would have been right in the
8
TiVo, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The world through tools. And so what I'm thinking would fulfill this entire scenario without requiring God Almighty to put in an appearance is time travel. I think that we are moving toward, You know, if you look at biology over huge scales of time, hundreds of millions of years, it is a kind of conquest of dimensionality.
All right, let's consider that. Somebody recently said, and I have been considering since I heard it, a very simple question.
Kind of
If time...
conquest of dimensionality, Paul.
This is famously Art Got Bored. You know how if you listen to enough Art episodes,
Yeah,
that's
Art really.
All right, let's consider that. And now I'm going to tell an anecdote about a different guest I had on. It was more interesting than you.
Yeah, this is really wants. I want you to tell me that there's going to be fire falling from the sky or
Right,
robots
exactly.
are going to rise up.
When I want the
That's what I
headline.
want. Yeah,
I keep asking you what's going to happen in 2012, and you're doing this nothing.
yeah, and you're saying
Non-committal.
Transcendence of dimensionality, and so okay.
I want you to say that flaming koalas will arrive in a canoe, and
yeah,
and yeah, and overthrow
this
the government.
Is what I want. Yeah.
Travel is possible, then where are the time travelers?
Well, when I asked that question to my sources, they said you can only travel as far back into the past as the moment of the invention of the first time machine, because before that there were no time machines.
But let me think about that. Does that make sense? You could only travel back to the moment of the invention of the time machine.
I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I've seen that in at least one movie. Maybe that's a thing.
Well, that's so some time travel is that you need to have. You're absolutely right. As I mentioned at the top, I watch all the time travel movies. That is definitely a trope where it's like where you, well, there'd be not a trope, but where you need to have nodes. Like you can travel back. That's where you physically have a thing. And in that model of time travel, yes, that would be correct. You couldn't actually travel further back than the invention of the first node. So yeah.
I'm sure I've seen that exact movie with that thing where it was like,
yeah, let me know in the chat because it's not popping up, but I know I've seen it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the creation of when time travel was invented.
I mean, it's a little bit Primer. Primer has that.
Yeah, kind of.
Because you have
Although
to go
in theory,
back
you
to the
could
machine.
travel back farther than before the machine was invented if you had the.
But don't you have to land in a machine?
Primer.
It's been a while since I've seen it. Didn't you have to land? You have to end up in a machine. In Primer.
Oh, you're right. Yes, because it was yes. You are correct because you're within the chamber and the yeah. So yes, you were right in Primer.
Because
but
prior
others,
to that,
let us know in the chat.
There was no capability.
It's like trying to drive where there are no roads.
Yeah.
It also means when you invent the first time machine, instantly time machines will appear by the tens of thousands, having come
Why does
back
it mean
time to see the first.
Okay. Well,
because time machines,
because
everyone would want to go back to that point.
But also, doesn't that destroy your idea that everything becomes more novel? Doesn't it seem like, okay, once we have time machines, they'll instantly become not novel anymore?
Was that the deal with 12 Monkeys? Is that the one? How did time travel work? Or were there set? Dang it! Now I can't remember.
12 Monkeys was nebulous, timey-wimey.
Yeah. Maybe
also,
it is Primer I'm thinking about.
I can't wait for you to think of this, see this new Sam Rockwell film so that we can actually talk about the, I don't want to spoil anything for you. The mechanisms, the time travel mechanisms and sorts.
I will make a point.
I mean, it's not urgent. It's not urgent, but I will. And someday we'll have this conversation.
Is it still in theaters? I should. I kind of
no. It's now in the rental phase of its.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah,
I'll watch it this week.
It is a mixture of so it's like clearly like you've mixed several movies that I love into this movie.
Right.
And I don't really want to say which ones, but you'll know.
Yeah.
One of them is Groundhog's Day.
Right.
Because the notion being that this guy has been reliving. If you watch the trailers, he's been on a mission to rescue the Earth. And he's
he's trying. There's a horrific future of some kind.
And this is his 120 whatever attempt. So in that way, it's kind of funny because they actually, and of course, I like because they call out. isn't your favorite movie Groundhog Day? Like they actually call it out to it. It's like, but what they've done is they've skipped all the preamble. Like it's just, oh well, this is the 127th whatever attempt. You don't ever get to
Right.
see, you don't see any of the prior ones. I
So
kind
he
of
just
liked
shows
that.
up and he's like,
I
"Where
kind
to
of liked
go?"
that edition of it. Okay, so we're acknowledging the trope, and is this mechanic, and we get it, but
Moving
we're
on.
not bothering with the first time. Oh, what's happening? I'm yeah.
Yes. Right.
Or live die repeat or whatever that movie is now called.
Or what's the Tom Cruise one?
That's the one, right? Didn't it either started
No,
as
it's
live
not,
die,
it's not Oblivion. It's a one word.
but didn't they change?
The aliens were there, and him and
Edge of
is that what it
Tomorrow was
was?
first called, and then they renamed it Live Die Repeat.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember an Edge of Tomorrow.
That
That was a good movie.
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
underrated for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I really like
Life
that movie.
into time.
Right.
That's incredible. That's a whole new line of thought for me
It's not.
about that question, and it might make sense. It might make sense. Your analogy is that you cannot drive, in essence,
Where there are no roads.
where there are no roads. Well, of course, you nearly do that when you go home from the broad.
Primer came out in 2004. I was just checking. So Primer was after this, so they would. If that's
Year,
the,
but
And you haven't even been up to see me. We're very proud of our bad roads.
I understand. It keeps the riffraff away, I
It
suppose.
certainly does. Actually, it doesn't keep the riffraff away, but it keeps everybody else away.
How
No
long,
Canadian
Terence,
is proud
have
of
you
our
been
bad roads.
residing on the
No,
side
we
of the
live with our
volcano
bad
there?
roads. We'll
Well,
brag about. We'll have kind of be like, "Where's the worst road?" But
yeah,
it was
as
like,
its own
it's
thing.
awesome that there's horrible potholes. And
So we
yeah.
definitely don't brag, but we also roll our eyes when people think that they have bad roads.
Yeah.
So it's not a source of pride, but it's like, really, you think you have a bad road?
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's like when somebody in like Louisiana complains about how cold it is or whatever.
Oh,
It's
sure,
like,
sure,
just-
yeah.
just shut up. You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
for about 3.5 years. I've had land out here since 77.
Since 77.
I grew up in western Colorado, and I had my children and my marriage and all that in California, and lived 35 years in Northern California.
Uh-huh. You knew Timothy Leary, yes?
I knew him. We appeared in public, mostly in Europe, together a few times, and he certainly was a huge influence on me. I only came to know him in the past 7 or 8 years, but as a kid growing up in the 60s, was an enormous influence on me.
You are now being called by many his heir apparent.
Well, I think not by many, but I was called it by him. Everybody else kept their mouth shut. Well, I have my method. I'm very interested in the psychedelic experience. I was raised Catholic and...
What?
I mean, you know who Timothy Leary is, right? Or do you know who Timothy Leary is?
No.
He was
I know who Dennis Leary is. That's different.
Professor at Harvard, Yale. It was an Ivy League school. He was big into psychedelics.
Okay.
And it was like, so this is like in the 60s, right? This opens up the mind and all these possibilities. And this will shock you, Paul. As time went on, his ideas and theories got increasingly, the skeptical would say wackadoo. He is generally not thought of as with much regard in serious academic circles. We will say that about Timothy Leary.
Fair enough.
But certainly started out. So he was a legitimate, I want to say psychologist. Was a professor. He was like a real researcher, and then got into heavily into psychedelics and the effects of LSD and things and all kinds of things. And then and things kind of went from there. Yeah. You might be right. It might have been USC Berkeley. That sounds right. I can't remember.
McKenna,
but anyways,
McKenna certainly though sounds like the kind of guy who has been enraptured by his own ideas when he's been in an altered state of conscious.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I kept of that was an enormous thirst for paranormal, the miraculous,
Yes.
supernatural.
Yes.
I went to India and I made the rounds of the gurus and the geishas, and I didn't find what I was looking for. But when I went to South America, to the jungles down there, I discovered that LSD was only the tip of the psychedelic iceberg, and what I had taken to be modern science and modern chemistry was actually a tradition of shamanism and religious use of psychedelic plants that was thousands and thousands of years old. And that fascinated me.
Modern chemistry is just really shamanism from thousands of years ago. If you look at it through the very, very, very narrow lens of psychedelic drugs. Now, this might shock you, Paul, but modern chemistry actually does a lot of things that have very little to do with drugs. And those things have almost no correlation to anything any shamans were doing.
We literally design molecules at this point, but that's what the shamans are doing.
Shamans were doing thousands of years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Corrugated plastics, shamans. Shamans did it. Yeah.
I actually, it was
catalytic converters, shamans did it. Yeah. Anyways.
Terence, I'm stealing one more bit of time to read you a fact that I think relates and challenges you.
Ooh, Art gets the facts.
Take a spot. Yeah, good thing we didn't do.
Yeah, this one's pretty narrow.
Didn't
scope.
do bingo.
No Nephilim,
no
no Dark Side of the Moon.
No
Hollow Earth. Oh, we have some super chats.
Some super chats.
Melody Kate, thank you, Melody. Dave, Timothy Leary was a pioneer.
You had to get the tone right. It's all Dave. It's, I think there's the sad. You got the head shaking.
The disappointment.
Yeah.
Timothy
Leary was a pioneer. Yeah, he had to. You don't get his vision. You don't understand
right.
how
a prophet is not understood in his own time. Yeah,
that's exactly right.
No,
it's exactly right.
Yeah, but how do you know it's true? LSD.
Yeah.
Thank you, Timothy.
I checked it. We ran the numbers. We dropped some acid, and it all checks out.
A little bit. It is from Stephen in Wichita, and it's well thought out. Here it is. Art, I'm not sure that you can equate novelty with either acceleration or complexity. Nature has always been novel, and surprisingly so considering earlier periods in Earth's history, given that over 90% of all species that have ever lived are now extinct, and the exotic body designs, it would seem novelty is a given. But in order to be effective, it must have a survival advantage and be passed on. Once the novelty becomes a hindrance, it disappears.
That's what you were saying earlier, Paul.
I know this is just someone who's just boring facts. Whoever sent this fax doesn't
articulating the point quite well, but
whoever sent this fax doesn't do hallucinogenic drugs, probably.
Yeah. Somebody hasn't done the extensive research I've done with LSD. Because if they had,
be more effective factor of population density. Virtually all of the social problems we face today have been duplicated years ago in rat population density studies. Our novel inventions of this century have simply allowed us to artificially compress distance and time by modes of travel and communications. The higher the population density, the more the acceleration seems to be. Anecdotal but relative, compare the pace of a small country town to a large city with its population density and resulting problems accelerated by stress and profit motives. That's from Steve in Wichita. What do you think, Terence?
Steve's a buzzkill. That's what I think.
Yeah, Steve. Shut up, nerd. That's what I say to Steve.
Well, I don't disagree with all of that. I think there's certainly been ebb and flow of novelty within the 20th century, parts of it more novel than others. But I think to argue that it isn't among the most novel periods in time is pretty uphill battle. The question is whether novelty is something which simply adheres to statistical dynamics or whether it's a real direction, a real...
I'm looking out my window, Paul. I can see the northern lights.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Wow. So now he's trying to tell us he doesn't understand how
quite a while. Hello, Neil. Sorry, Paul.
He's complaining now that he doesn't know what a unit of novelty would look like, but previously he had it on graphs.
Yeah.
I sense some methodology problems.
I have all these concrete points until you press me even the slightest bit, in which case, well, you know, I mean, none of us can really know what's going on with any of this. So, oh shit, that's bad news for Michael, because there's 2 mods here now. So that time and a half.
So that's right. We're gonna
have to claw that back.
Just retroactively to last week, and if you can just
also, we're gonna need you to come in on Saturday. So
I mean, where I am, it's already Saturday, so if you could just stay.
Oh yeah, so you can.
That'd be great.
that'd be great. Thanks.
Arrow that is directing process, and that's what I maintain. I think it's not true to say that the biota of the Earth today is not more novel than it was in the past. Certainly there are novel forms of life which have undergone extinction, but the proliferation of human life, which is an advanced animal plus a culture-creating creature, indicates to me that we're at a level of novelty that this planet has never before experienced. Of course,
in what way? In what way? Right? In what metric?
Yep.
Human beings are neither the most plentiful nor the most complicated. There is no. I mean,
I would say in terms of social dynamics, we're the most complicated.
Social dynamics, yeah, and in terms of impact on the environment and ability to control and shape their world, to like humans are clearly more intelligent and all the things that go with that, right? Like,
well, because we have opposable thumbs, we don't know how intelligent dolphins are really.
But I mean, like, I think it's pretty safe to say that we have abilities dolphins don't when it comes to problem solving and tool building. Yeah,
because of these.
Because of these, we're fine. But the ability humans have to affect the world.
Yes. As a package unit, I would agree with you. Yep.
Yeah. However you want to shape it.
Yep.
There has never been something like that. But just from nature's point of view, from a biology point of view, like to suggest that somehow, well, there's more humans than there were before, so this is like the most novel thing. It's like, well, that's a cool point if you're human,
right?
But in what way, from like an evolutionary or nature or universal law point? Because we can build digital watches. That's what this is built on, because it seems like that's what you're basing this on. Like, in terms of Game Boy production, we've got the fucking dinosaurs spanked from sunrise to sunset.
We sure do,
right?
In terms of number of Scream movies, we've got the most we've ever had.
Well, but in 1996 we were tied. We were tied on Scream movies with the dinosaurs in 1996.
Oh no, I'm just saying now though we have more Scream movies than we've ever had. Yeah.
But so it's like I don't even know what he keeps dipping between like technological and societal changes and biology, but just conflating them as if these are all the same thing, and then applies them as like these are universal constants. Is like what? Right? Like it's like I saw a BMW drive faster than a Toyota Corolla, ergo it's a universal truth that Europeans can run faster than Asians. And you're like, I'm sorry, what, like I can't deny your input facts, like those are true, but where you're going is just wildly, you really are just swinging for the fences here, champ. You're taking these facts just so this obviously applies to every galaxy in the universe. This is what is true everywhere.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of which, we know that some galaxies have ended, but we also know that galaxies are being formed. Like how many galaxies does it, like how many new galaxies does it take to overcome, the changing length of a miniskirt, in terms of novelty, right? Like it's.
I mean, after 2012, it won't matter.
And
So
that's right. And we actually don't know. Like there may well be other societies and other planets that are increasing or decreasing universal novelty, even if you measure it as fads and innovations. So yeah.
And I mean, like, have you seen how many mouths and legs and teeth lobsters fucking have?
That's right.
I feel like there's some novelty there. Trying to get this beer off. It's not going, God damn it.
Well, they mentioned that in the facts. He's like, yeah, well, so we used to have a lot more body plans in nature than we have now. We don't have as many body plans as we used to. Isn't that less novel? I was like, yeah, it's a good point. Good point.
There's like whole. So what's the highest biological thing? Kingdom order? I can't remember. Right? Like,
well, it starts. So they've started. So traditionally, it's kingdom, family, class, order, family, genus, species. So kingdom was at top, but they have an order now. Order above kingdom, I believe is.
So apparently, there's a whole.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always an argument in how you define these things are fluid, but there's a whole one of, and I don't know enough. You might know more paleobiology thing, but it's like, yeah, basically, there's like been whole kingdoms or orders, or at least one.
Yeah, order's the wrong word.
Used to exist that doesn't anymore. Like a whole other sort of generic classification of life.
Yes,
so
there's whole kingdoms. Yeah.
Those have all gone. So like an entirely different cellular organization than what we kind of have. Yeah, didn't work out. No one
tell Forrest about my biology flub. I'm hosting with Forrest on the line on Sunday. No one say anything.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to super chat.
He's a real biologist. Okay. So we have
Forrest is a biologist. That's his background.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
AZ Cat, loving laughing with you guys as usual. Thank you, AZ.
We are glad you're here with us too, AZ Cat.
We're hoping that you're laughing. Actually, we don't care. You can laugh at us or with us. It doesn't matter.
I have a kind of secret fetish for that. But we'll move on.
Oh, I see.
It's not that secret.
And Olivia Williams, Purple Fairy, thank you so much for the super chat. Cows are crazy smart.
Try again.
I lived
nope.
on a dairy farm.
You got it wrong. Do it again.
Oh, crows.
There you go. Because let me tell you something. Cows are not crazy smart.
No, I was about to fight because I grew up on a dairy farm. I was like, cows. I was already angry. Cows are not smart.
I was like, nope. Try again.
But crows, you're right. Crows are
crazy smart. They're certainly smarter than cows. Okay, on that.
Crows make tools. They solve problems.
Yeah.
Magpies used to mock the magpies used to torture my dog in teams, and you could watch them do it. It was like crazy.
Yeah. Just for fun.
Just for fun.
I have family that ranched, and I once saw a cow that had walked into like essentially like a corner of a paddock. And was stuck. Like humans had to intervene because it did not occur to the cow to walk backwards. It couldn't turn to either side, and so it was just there, like just mooing and braying, like because it couldn't move and couldn't go anywhere. And it's like it's like I thought you had fucking 180 whatever vision on the side. Herbivores, that's the whole point. You should be able to see open space. Like just take one step backwards and you would be able to turn and go to the water or what it is you want. But for some reason you walk into this corner and now That's it. You're stuck. You will starve to death if somebody doesn't come and save you from this. Presumably, apparently, at some point it would pass out, and then maybe, hopefully, fall kind of slightly sideways,
right.
so
that when it got up,
so that when it sort of woke up again, it would realize it could walk
right.
over and have.
It
water.
forgot that it was having a problem. It would just do what it needs to do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we yeah. But crows, I agree. Crows are very cool animals. And,
yeah. Crow would know to step backwards from a corner.
And
I don't know if I'd use the word cool. They're very smart. They're also, if you live around them a lot, they're annoying as fuck.
Well, sure, but
yeah.
Crows are
partly because they are so smart. Yeah.
Yes. Once I started understanding, I used to just hate birds in general. But once I started actually understanding evolution and like starting to get some, like my appreciation for birds is like way up there. So.
I would like to just take a step back and go that you used to just hate birds.
I used to just all birds, just universal across the board. All birds hated them until like in the time I've known you, when I met you, up until most of the time. Yeah, I hated birds, across the board. It's in the last decade that all of a sudden it's like I'm the opposite. I'm like, birds are amazing. Yeah.
So you can see like a blue jay or a
hate that thing.
Just
contempt for a robin or a didn't matter a goose, whatever it was, just across chicken,
just a chickadee
all
or a
of it.
Dove
Nope. Yeah. Well, I will say probably penguin. If you had to say, well, is there an exception? Yeah, maybe penguins. Maybe penguins are all right.
Penguins were okay.
Yeah. The rest of them creep me out.
They had the decency to live as far away from you as it's geographically possible to get on Earth. Yeah.
I can't rule out that it's because I had to pluck chickens as a kid.
I mean, I feel like there's got to be some scarring incident.
Yeah, I can't say that it didn't have to do with Butcher Day, but
that bird, yeah, I hate him.
I literally, it's like some happy sparrow just enjoying a sunny day, and it's like, fuck that bird. I was that guy.
Even hummingbirds?
Yep, even hummingbirds.
Wow.
Fuck all those birds. Fuck all y'all birds. Nope, not me.
Yeah. All right.
But
all right.
I'm a reformed person now that I know that they're dinosaurs.
I mean, I'm glad that you have moved past this hatred.
Yes, it's a prior time.
I'm a little sad that it took these are really just dinosaurs to get you there. Yeah. Yeah, Paul has bird blindness.
Don't make fun of my bird blindness. It's a real disease.
Kind of goose. My chicken.
Do not make fun of my bird. It's a real disability.
I sort of laughed, and then after I'm like, okay, this is getting a little old. Like the bird blindness joke gets a little, and then he just kept sticking with it. So serious, and
that's right.
Like a Dave Letterman joke where he just keeps repeating this dumb
commitment
joke.
To the bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it becomes funny
eventually.
Again.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. New merch for the store, Paul.
That's
right. You can have a graphic of just like the most adorable sparrow or hummingbird or like some kind of like little chickadee splashing in a fountain.
That's right.
That bird.
In particular.
Can we get your cartoon face looking as pissed off as possible, just scowling at this bird? That would be. This is the T-shirt I want. I'll buy 10. If you make this shirt, I'll give them to all my friends. I've got 2 friends, Paul, in Sweden. So that's
like
plus shipping.
People built bird houses and had bird baths, and I was literally like, "Why? This is like just inviting. It's like having a shit house where shit would come and be in your yard. It's like, why do you want these birds here?"
Yeah, I can see how if you just hated birds, you would think that. Yes,
it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is what we're always comparing these waves to, is not yet a quantified thing. But nevertheless, though we don't have an absolute quantification of history, there is general agreement among historians that events like the Renaissance, the Greek Golden Age, the 20th century are periods where a great deal of novelty in social forms and technologies was concentrated.
All right. You put together a computer program
Correct.
which was able to trace the ebb and the flow of this novelty.
What? Why didn't you lead with this?
I feel like he did bring this up before.
We built a computer. There's software for this. There's an app. There's an app for that, Dave.
Yeah, he talked about he had a computer model. That's how he predicted the 2012.
Well, okay.
And, in effect, chart major events in history. How many, if I might ask, hits and misses, when you got this in final development, and then you look at each point in history, how many hits and misses, were there any misses in the model, or did you
I'm just going to go ahead and say
major moment in history on the nose?
Well,
cutting-edge
by my
software is probably like an Excel spreadsheet where he's putting he's picking things and putting in dates, and it's plotting a line graph, and he's just going to go ahead and, you know what? I'm just based on everything you said. He's just finding, it's like, well, I need something in 20,
Right. To smooth out the curve, I really need a point.
Oh, well, this was invented in 1863.
Right.
So this fits my, yes. It seems like the type.
He was working on this from 75 until 96. The interview was 96 or 97 or something. So like Windows 95 famously came out in like 1995. So like he was using some pretty old hardware.
Yep. Oh, this guy's definitely a Linux guy.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to his voice. I mean, we both know it, Paul.
Well, but he wouldn't have. Yes, no, because there was no. What was he going to run? Windows 3? Not Windows 3. DOS. He would be running DOS 3. Whatever.
He could be running Windows 3.
MS DOS. No.
Windows NT or Windows 3.
Yeah. MS DOS. He's definitely He was
DOS based.
Yeah. Have you seen the MacBook Neo?
Worked for Uni back in the 70s. We were working on novelty graphing. That's what it was all really about. Shh. Yeah. Sorry,
did you see the MacBook Neo?
Yeah. So I forgot I was gonna call you this week and ask, because I was buying a new MacBook Pro for our marketing department at work, and I wanted to ask your opinions on the M5 Pro versus the M5 or the higher end one. I don't even remember what they call it. There's two versions of the M5.
There's Ultra and Max.
Yeah.
Yep. Unless you're doing 4K video, like I don't know why you would need a Max or an Ultra if you weren't doing.
No,
like, really
and we just went with an
processing.
M5 Pro.
Yeah.
Because when I sort of looked, and that was but yes, I did see the Neo. That was the first I'd heard of it, though, was this week. I didn't know that this existed.
Well, it just got announced this last week, so you're not.
Oh, okay. So I just happened to have been on the Apple.
website
at the right time too.
I guess it was like 10 days ago, but I'm actually thinking it's quite a disruptor in these. So it's a novelty, Dave. It's a novel.
It's basically like an Apple Chromebook, essentially. It seems like to me
a Safari book, as some people have been dubbing it.
Oh, have they? Well, there you go. Yes, yeah.
But it's way more powerful than a Chromebook type thing, because it actually has an operating system. In fact, like when you said Linux, it's kind of like suddenly it's like the best Linux. It's the cheapest, best Linux computer that exists too, right? Like it's like,
right.
Suddenly you have a terminal, you have all the stuff. But anyway, I was looking at the performance charts, so the performance charts are technically better than the M1. I'm like, oh damn, like
damn it. There we go. I still got Raspberry Pis.
This is now where I can watch the graph of people leaving the stream. All right, off we go.
Off we go.
Of this theory, there can be no misses. In other words, it's not a statistical theory. We're not okay if we're right.
It's not a statistical theory. We don't do things like predictive power or explanatory power.
I need to take a bio break,
okay.
Paul.
All right. Do you want me to interact with it? Do you want me to keep listening? What would you like?
Whichever, I'll be able to hear it. You,
all right, I'm going
I
to keep
wanna hear
listening then.
his thoughts on statistical theory. You do whatever you want to do. You just do you, buddy.
2/3 of the time.
Hear, hear.
So we have to be right all the time.
Telling me you are.
I submit to you and to the world for your examination and critiquing the fact that, yes, the time wave, with its end point in December 21st, 2012, describes with as great an accuracy as I am able to discern the actual vicissitudes of novelty and habit in history and natural history.
This vicissitude? Is my vocabulary escaping me at this time of night? Vicissitude of novelty. How does anyone spell that? Vicissitude. Oh, a change, variation, a shift in circumstance. Very well. Very well done. Vicissitude, a real word, I see. I'm learning. Every once in a while, and I assure you, it's accidental, you might learn something.
That's the claim. That's right.
Terence, have you submitted this? I mean, this is serious science that you're discussing. Have you submitted this to peer review?
Well, among mathematicians, yes, and there's a
it's been peer-reviewed by mathematicians.
Lively debate raging on the internet about that. Let me say something, though, here about science and why the acceptance of the time wave can't really occur under the tent of ordinary science. You have mentioned repeatability. Repeatability is the idea at the very basis of the scientific method, at the very basis of experiment.
That's right.
It's what's called restoration of initial conditions. But now notice that what the time wave theory is saying is that every moment in time is a unique moment.
Is unique and will not specifically repeat, but what you're...
So every moment has... What's the novelty of infinite novelty if every moment has infinite novelty, Terence?
He's it does feel like maybe sometimes he's just saying things without
Okay, so yes, it's peer reviewed, but let me just say we have this weird feature where we're not actually doing science. So
or original science, and
it's tough to get peer review on our ideas.
All right, yeah,
because it's not technically repeatable or makes unique predictions.
I get that if you have a model that's predicting the end of reality, yes, that's not a repeatable, but presumably that model has points that can be, predictions prior to the end of reality.
But repeatable doesn't necessarily mean experimental repeatability, Dave. It just can mean that all the different sets of people given the same data can come to the same conclusion. Also repeatability.
But also like in science, so like if you have even a standard model or a physical, like a model of the universe, the real model, where it's like this is how we predict the universe will end. But if we follow that math, the math will say like there's things that happen before the end of the universe. So we can look at if this theory is true, if there's time waves that are crashing going, so there should be points of increased novelty that you can measure and go to. If they're culminating at 2012, between 1996 and 2012, there should be some sort of predictable, measurable outcome that can be predicted and be like, according to this model, this should happen on or about here. And then you can look and see, and if it does, then you're like, well, shit, looks like that's a check in the old box for time wave theory because you predicted this would happen and it did happen.
Right, but he's basically saying we're not the kind of science that makes predictions, except this big one. Except this big one about December 21st, 2012.
Except the summer solstice in 2012, which when I came to the math, I didn't even realize it was the solstice or the 2012 was significant in any social subset. Anyways, would you like some of this really excellent
novelty is increasing, but every moment is perfectly novel in and of itself. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
suggesting is that you can plot the highs of novelty throughout history.
Yes, you can, but you cannot assume that you're doing it probabilistically. In other words, essentially, when you really understand philosophically what the time wave is saying, it's an enormous attack on probability theory. You know, the way science works now is if you want to know how much energy is flowing through a wire, you take 1,000 measurements, you add them together, and you divide by 1,000, and then you have the current flowing through the wire.
That's okay. It's, or you just measure. You just measure and be like, this is how much power is flowing through this wire right now because we have
calibrating instruments so we can know. Anyway.
Yeah. If you want to know how much water is floating through a river at a time, you don't.
But that's not the most crazy
measurements over 1,000 days. Yeah. If you want to know the average amount of power that flows through this wire on a given day, then yes, you measure it 1,000 times and divide by 1,000.
It's true because there's fluctuations always. Yeah.
But that does not tell you how much wire power is flowing through the wire right now. That you find by just measuring the wire right now, and it's like, oh, it's 3 amps.
Dave's webcam is fine. It's his internet bits.
Yeah, it's it drives me crazy because I have all the fiber. I have the best internet you can get.
Well, but also during certain parts of the show, you are as clear. Yeah, you're perfectly clear. Otherwise, not. Anyway,
it's the old. Wow.
Well, you know what we need to do? We need to measure your throughput there, Dave. Your bandwidth 1,000 times, and then divide by 1,000, and then we would know.
Or move, or just move. Is that the other? What I actually have to do? Yeah.
But notice that assumes that it doesn't matter what time you make the measurement, and so much of science is like this, to the point where I am redefining science and saying science is the study of those phenomena so coarse-grained that the time in which they occurred does not affect them. And that leaves out, then, history, love affairs, corporate takeovers, empire building. Everything interesting in the human world is too fragile, too finely embedded in the context of its time to be open to that kind of scientific modeling.
So,
what?
Okay.
Because all those things can be described within time.
So I was at a birthday party before this stream.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not start drinking with this stream.
Yep.
So I'm a little toasted right now. I'm having a hard time following him, but I feel again. So he's this is the thing. It's like in his mind, in Terence McKenna's mind, in his theory, there is no difference between a love affair, the fall of an empire, or the degradation of the orbit of a celestial body. All of these things are just universal physical things that happen, and all the same physical laws apply to all of them the same.
But also science can't measure them because they are not granular within the time.
Traditional science can't measure them.
Traditional science can't measure a love affair because it takes longer than the amount of granular time they have to look at it.
I don't know. That is, I will admit, that's where he lost me. Right there is, I'm like, I'm trying. God help me, Terence. I'm trying. But you're not making it easy, man.
Even if an empire lasts multiple millennia from its rise to its fall, science still can say, well, we measure something for 4,000 years. Is that good? Is that
China's existed more or less in some form for about 5,000 years. Yeah. How long was Egypt around? A very, very, very long time. I guess it's still around now, but not.
Indeed. Oh well.
Yeah.
Let's learn why science doesn't apply to him, man.
But also, it's also
other
love
words-
affair.
It's also love affairs. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason.
Could be certainly be equated to the rise and fall of empires.
Hmm.
They're really relatively small, insignificant events that don't enter into the larger measurements you're making of this ebb and flow.
Well, for instance, on a given day when the chart says novelty will be high, certainly somewhere in the world someone is having a very unnovel day. It's a statistical thing, a bell curve.
Thank you.
But
Is there an app that tells me that novelty is going to be high today?
In '96, no, there were not.
But there was a chart. He said you can look on
There
your
was a
chart and see
You can get a printed chart. You get like a farmer's almanac. Right.
Farmer's Almanac, and it says
Mhm.
on October or March, I guess it's 14th. Oh wait, I didn't talk about Friday the 13th, which is fine. So
You're
on March 14th, the novelty is going to be low, so don't do anything fun.
Yeah.
Just
Or if you do anything fun, you're just a statistical outlier.
or you're stealing extra novelty from other people. We want you to conserve your novelty today because novelty in general is going to be down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a bell curve where when the wave is predicting high novelty, most people, most systems will experience that novelty, but of course some will not. Probability
Novelty is experienced on a bell curve.
Like, but this is the thing. So he's tossing like he's
The
not.
bell curve is the most predictable fucking thing there is.
There is, but he's using like he's where you're like if you so for example if you're like well like overall temperatures are rising, right? So you say temperatures are going to be higher next year than this year.
Yep.
But you can always find, I think, where it's like, well, like it was colder than it's, this is the coldest it's been in 30 years in, New Hicksburg, whatever, in this particular town. Or thing. Like there's always going to be, when you're talking about, it's like, yeah, we're talking about, so you can say, well, overall, like novelty is increasing or this is a high novelty point. And it says, my life was exactly the same as ever. And it's like, well, yeah, because we're talking about a bell curve. So overall novelty, without me having to ever like point to anything, I can just say, no, novelty's high. And any anecdotal evidence you give me of how it's not, well, that's just you and yours. But for people in Eastern Poland, oh my goodness, it was incredibly novel at that point.
That's both an excuse, but also actually would be how, if novelty was a thing you could measure, that is actually how it would probably be.
Like that's why when he's saying this is like, well, I can't actually argue with it because
individual counts of mundanity can't eliminate. Yeah.
Right.
But still, we should be able to know what unit we're measuring of how many mundane units.
And you should be able to point at something that some sort of evidence or record or, like something's happening that is reflecting this as we, Paul, please remember, race towards the end of everything
in 2012.
18 years from the whatever it is. Yeah.
So Dave, the day, presumably then, if these things we can track, there was a day in history that was the most mundane day in history. The least novel day.
Yeah.
But because it was the least novel, doesn't that make it novel?
No.
Yeah, it does.
Because again,
there's only one of them. There's only one least novel day.
So this is exactly it. This is the problem with his terminology. So he's using novelness as a unit, but it's also a word in English that means a thing, but that's not how he's using it.
Oh, you think I'm conflating, do you?
We got to get very Jordan Peterson here, where it's how do you define novelness?
Well,
he defines it as this is a scientific unit of measurement. So to say something is more or less novelness.
Then no, but then I'm not conflating because he's describing a unit of what I was describing as novelty.
Yeah, that's not what he describes it as. He describes it as some kind of universal force. So
Timothy Harmon says
yeah,
he's right.
okay.
My wife gets cranky when I tell her her opinions are not novel.
I mean, I think we all do. Yeah.
Well.
You know.
So again,
but to work against his argument, he uses it both ways depending on what
he conflates. Yes.
What point he's trying to make.
Yeah.
He uses it either as a mathematical unit of measurement, or he's talking about, hey, somebody invented audiobooks.
Yeah.
Right? Like they are not the same thing.
Is ebbing and flowing. You know, when you study statistics, the first thing they teach you is when you flip a coin, the odds are 50-50, heads or tails. If that were true, the coin would land on its edge every single time. That's the rarest.
No, that's what? That's not right.
It's not right. That's grossly inaccurate. Yeah.
If you say that, any whole number is going to be an odd or an even, then you said, well, no numbers are odd or even. Like,
this is a very Terence Howard.
Result in a coin toss.
It's that the name Terence is.
Is Art going to push back on this a bit?
Oh, maybe.
Indeed.
What's really happening?
No, just said laughed and said
called
indeed.
Secondary and tertiary factors are causing the coin to be heads or tails. I say no. There are zones in time where heads are favored and zones in time where tails are favored. The idea that time can be described as a perfectly smooth surface and then dealt with statistically is just a first pass with Greek idealism, and careful examination of nature shows it to be inadequate in the same way that perfect circles were inadequate for describing planetary motion.
But
you are
also,
therefore saying
time is not again, and then literally nobody is saying that time is like a physical substance, that there's a thing that there, like time is it's not the force. It doesn't permeate all things. Like time, it's space-time. It's the curvature of the universe. It's this whole thing that's much more. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
What?
It's the long and the short of it. What?
Are you telling me? I've been listening to this.
Is this straw man? So he's presenting a view of time, an argument of time that is in no way, like, no actual physicist or anybody who's remotely related would like nobody's saying time is like what you're replying to an argument that nobody's making.
Oh yes, that would be a straw man where he's attacking positions that aren't being held.
Yeah. That nobody is yeah.
that conventional science does not have and cannot have, with its present course of investigation, a proper understanding of time.
That's right, because it assumes that it is to be analyzed with statistics, and that flattens out and denies the difference among various times and types of time.
Oh, so if the total novelty is always zero, there's a novelty equilibrium of it's always zero, but in certain regions, of course,
except it can't be
higher and lower. That's true.
Yeah.
So Terence, how long have you been working on this?
Oh, since 1971.
Too long,
Don't talk to me about time, Art. Didn't we just go over this?
Depends what type of
the
time.
The granularity of my work cannot be measured in your construct.
Oh,
or 17 years, whatever.
Yeah. 71.
Yeah.
What is you told me that you're originally from Colorado, family and all that back in Colorado.
Right.
Then finally exile.
Yes, and I got myself to the University of California at Berkeley right at the time of the anti-war movement and all of that. It was like a kid in a cultural candy store. And studied philosophy.
You were what?
You were at Berkeley in the 60s studying philosophy. Who would have ever guessed? And yet you feel, and it's
This is incompatible with everything I've learned.
all of these and everything that other people wrote about time. No, that's nonsense.
No. But if you take shrooms, then let me tell you.
Yeah, I feel like he's moved well beyond.
Yeah, if you're
he's doing the things the shamans were doing thousands of years ago.
It's all just shaman all the way down.
It's all the way down.
Art history, and then went off to Asia, basically to check out the hash dens and the gurus. And the hash was fine, but the gurus just wanted into my pocket. And so then I went to South America, and as I mentioned, that's where this shamanism thing just really grabbed me.
What part of South America, Terence?
So I was in South America studying with shamans, but I didn't know there was anything significant about 2012. That just was a coincidence. That came out of nowhere.
Southern Colombia, the Putumayo River Basin. And, you know, it's the psychedelic plants that are so fascinating to me because...
No shit.
Yeah.
You mentioned repeatability. Here's a technology, a technique that lets you repeatedly and with relative safety journey into alien worlds filled with alien forms of intelligence. And it's the only thing I've found that does that. In other words, I've investigated flying saucers, crop circles. It doesn't turn me on. But
let me quickly stop you there and ask you,
how can you not be turned on by crop circles, Terence?
An art, I feel like let's quickly shut down this idea that associating hallucinogenics with crop circles and alien UFOs, two things I legitimately believe in.
That's right. Yeah, those can be bad for his audience.
Let's all okay. Let's talk about something else. Yeah.
About crop circles, many people feel that they are fractal in nature, and if you're on the internet, I know you've seen photographs of some of the more amazing ones. They do appear to be fractal. What is your thinking there?
Well, I was thinking, you know, I don't think it's been published in this country, but this wonderful book.
If I'm honest with you, Art, I said fractal before, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah, I was just about to say, this man has no understanding of what a fractal is.
Even though I used it twice previously in the conversation, I didn't know there'd be follow-up questions.
I saw some really cool posters when I was doing peyote. And so I know what fractals are. It's like, you don't have them. You don't have them.
Called Around in Circles by Jim Schnabel. To my mind, that blows the lid off the whole crop circle thing. You and I could spend a whole evening discussing the relationship of the media to the human psyche, to how people handle evidence, and because I really think the psychedelic community has evidence to...
Okay, I know, Art. You just tried to steer me off of psychedelics, but let me just bring this little crop circle discussion back. Psychedelics.
Yeah. To what evidence the psychedelic community has. Yeah. And I'm just, again, Paul, I'm just going to go ahead and guess that your and my definition of evidence. I don't even know if you and I have the exact same definition of evidence, but I do guarantee I will bet my next 5 paychecks that neither of our definitions of evidence line up with Mr. McKenna's definition of the word.
I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Ours would have unfortunate things like facts.
Right.
Provable physical phenomenon, something observable. Yeah.
Something that definitively leads towards a certain conclusion versus another conclusion.
Yeah.
I
feel his definition of facts is much like a definition of pornography. Look, I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Man, I know it when I see it. And I see it every Tuesday night when I drop acid with my buddy Red Bull.
Paranormal questions that has never been properly heard and evaluated because the ordinary society's attitude toward people who use psychedelics is that they are automatically unreliable.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
But I think
Yes,
we're
I know.
not
They were
track
seeing
stuff like UFO abduction.
They are seeing things that aren't real or experiencing. Look, whatever. There's a lot of opinions of psychedelics. I'm not going to get into that. I have used them. At no point do I think that any of the things I experienced while under the influence of psychedelics were, this is what's really happening.
Was new. That's right. Was new knowledge of what's happening in reality. Yeah.
Yeah. This was, okay. That's I feel where the breakdown is occurring.
Look, Art.
Here. Yeah.
I try to get my paper peer reviewed. I tell them they've got to take LSD to understand it. Suddenly I'm a quack.
Suddenly I'm the quack.
I'm the problem here.
Because the cowards.
Because of prejudice, man. Sorry.
Unless we admit the psychedelic evidence, and if we do admit it, suddenly the whole thing begins to look very, very different.
All right, Terence, I don't reject it. And a lot of guests that I've had on who have been into the very same areas we're in right now, very politically correctly rejected out of hand. You don't need it to accomplish this. They say that you can do it within yourself. And I don't reject that thought either, but I would like to hear the case that you would present for psychedelics opening the doors that you're talking about, that in fact they do. Well, how would you make...
I'm surprised actually a little bit. Art's going to go, okay, all right, Terence. The world's ended in a few years. Just make your case for psychedelics on my radio show.
It's like you're clearly
in the 90s, like this
whatever.
One. Yeah.
That case.
No,
well, I hear what you're saying is you're equating spiritual techniques like yoga and prayer and human decency and that sort of thing. I'm not sure there's a connection. I mean, it does help to be an ethical person to take psychedelics, but for instance, the psychedelics that has fascinated...
Except, that they weren't necessarily legal, so I don't know if that's also ethical, but whatever.
Well, I'll push back. I'll believe that I don't believe ethics and laws necessarily, like, those two things are synonymous.
No, so they're not synonymous. So let's go for it. So, but I believe that, but I think that being law abiding is an ethic to a point. Not like just like all ethics. There's always to a point, right? Like truthful to a point.
I guess it's true, and it's and you can say, like, what are your ethics? It's
yeah,
right. Like
it's loyal to a point. Like the ethics are not universal. So law abiding, I would actually say, is an ethic to a certain extent. So,
yeah. But in a, say, for example, totalitarian or oppressive regime,
correct, because there's a hierarchy of ethics.
Me most over the years
no, there isn't.
Is DMT, dimethyltryptamine. Now, this is not a well-known substance.
No, it isn't. What is it?
Well, that's what it is, dimethyltryptamine. It occurs in a number of plant species throughout the world. It's utilized by native peoples. And in the pure form out of the laboratory, when you smoke this stuff, you find yourself inside the flying saucer that all these dazzled people are raving about. But you found yourself there by initiating an action on your own. In other words, repeatability. And after about 3 minutes of spending time with the self-transforming elf machines and their technologies, you're deposited back in your apartment for wear. Well, now let's give this stuff to the leading lights of the UFO community or anyone else who hasn't.
They've already got him.
Yeah,
they got him.
To be fair, honestly, most real UFO people I've ever listened to, or a lot of them are teetotalers of some, because they're just that kind of personality.
Yeah.
So I would not say that is actually true, but yes, I mean, he's whatever. Yes,
Yeah.
you take this crazy ass powerful psychedelic and then you find yourself in UFOs. We're seeing the real UFO experience. It's like, or you're just tripping balls. Like, let's not rule that out. And none of this is real, and you're just whacked out of your gourd on psychedelics.
Interest in unusual psychological or paranormal.
This is why Timothy
All right,
Leary
all right.
was not taken later seriously in his career. This exact kind of shit right here. Yeah.
Terence, we're at another break point. Stay put. We'll be right back to you. This is
It
CBC.
makes the same point. Or maybe, and just hear me out, it might just be getting high. It's like, yep, that's pretty much.
We're doing
We're
our.
getting
We're listening to song 3 seconds at a time.
Is this heart?
Nope, that was a shorter one. Oh, different song. Boop, boop, boop,
I don't know
boop,
that song.
boop, 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 boop. I got mesmerized there. I forgot to mute.
Well, I don't know what song that is. Maybe we could do one like this. Music to move by.
Music to be demonetized by.
Music to be demonetized by.
That one's an Art Bell classic, whatever that song is.
Yeah.
Art Bell is taking calls on the wildcard line at 702-727-1295. That's 702-727-1295. First-time callers can reach Art Bell at 702-727.
I've really let my pan flute slide. I just haven't picked it up in a long time.
Zamfir is very disappointed in you, Paul.
1222. Now, here again, Art Bell.
When I tell you we have different shows,
For
maybe
Simon
you're
Baker's-
beginning to believe.
There we go. People here are much better at naming that tune than I am.
Terence McKenna's my guest. What a totally interesting individual he is. You've got to sit by the radio, turn
I do not.
One word for it.
the volume up a little bit, put down your book or whatever else you're doing.
Greg,
and
get
I
up,
will
dude.
say, if I'd been listening in 1996, which I might have been because I was listening to Art Bell
Yep.
on it.
I
on
sure
every
was
night.
too. Yep.
I would be listening to this.
Of course.
I'd be like, this guy's fucking crazy. Yeah. Oh, I miss.
But weirdly, I was in this weird place where I was as dedicated. That was as dedicated to theism and those ideas and supernatural as ever I was. But I also
Were
listened
you
to Art Bell
96?
to laugh at people.
No, yeah, because you were in. That's when you were, because that's the year I graduated, 96.
Yeah, I
from high
hadn't
school.
met you yet because I was still in Saskatoon.
Well, you'd met me, like you'd been my
Mm-mm.
quizzing coach in 96. Like that's the year I graduated high school.
Right, I met you in Saskatoon, not Calgary. Right, yes.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
No,
Yeah,
you
no.
met me when I was.
Yeah. No.
8 years before.
I know. I've reset my timeline. Yes, no, because in 98, yeah, we hired you to stand in lines for us and things. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, what I was going to say was it was weird because I would alternate between Art would have someone on that aligned with my view of what I thought supernatural was, and then I'm like,
Right.
yeah, preach it, amazing, yeah, and then it would be like the next night it would be like someone like this,
Yeah, so you would have
advocating.
heard like Father Malachi Martin and been like, "This is fantastic, and amazing,"
absolutely.
because
Or
he's
anytime
eloquent.
it was like angels or demons, every single time I'm just like, yes, yeah, absolutely.
so there were angel and demon people who were like, "No, this is fucking crazy," but then there were people who were like, "No, this does more or less align."
Yeah,
right?
no, but so
there were people
yeah.
like Nephilim guy or something, everything where it's like every world event and the Greek gods were real and the Norse gods are real and all these are real. These are all just sides of the coin, and have been like, no, that's not correct.
Right. But that's what I guess that's what I was thinking. So for me, I would go from night to night. I would either be completely on with whatever the guest was, or basically doing what I'm doing right now, which is just like laughing at every sentence.
Just like, what are you talking about, man?
You're crazy. Until tomorrow when you talk about how the Nephilim are real, then that will be.
Yeah.
And then there was a category of things that I wished were real. Like, so I really wished like UFO something would come up. Like,
oh yeah. Well,
I didn't think that it was, but wouldn't it be neat if? Yeah.
Wouldn't it be neat if?
Yeah.
And even at the time when I was a much more religious,
Mm-hmm.
never did I think it's like nothing in Christianity or Bible like there could be intelligent life on other planets. There's no reason not.
Sure.
Right? Like, so this is a thing that could happen.
Yeah.
You can dream and hope, and then we could learn what's your experience of God, and we could compare notes and all get a deeper truth of the understanding of reality. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back now to the big island of Hawaii and a very unusual individual named Terence McKenna. Terence, I've got a question for you. Have you ever watched Star Trek?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, good. You're familiar, then, with the Prime Directive.
Thou shalt not interfere is, I believe, the Prime Directive.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What you are saying is so serious and is such a large revelation that is it not possible that you are, in a sense, doing what you're doing right now, violating the Prime Directive?
How
it's
so?
It's only been about 100.
I don't see how, because he's not.
You literally can't violate the Prime Directive within your own society and culture.
Yeah. If like the Prime Directive isn't, you can't interfere with events.
No.
It's just that you can't introduce technologies or philosophies to.
You're not supposed to interfere with
the development of culture. Yeah.
Development of cultures, pre-warp cultures.
Yeah.
That's the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
Years since the news began to arrive in the lap of Western civilization that there were these psychoactive plants scattered around the world. The first one was the peyote cactus.
I love how throws this and just immediately, well, the thing is, there's a lot of psychoactive plants scattered around. It's like, I'm talking about the fucking Prime Directive here, man. What are you talking about? But yeah,
Art's asking every question. Yeah.
Yeah. Art, just drink this tea, man, and you will, trust me, it'll all make sense.
Terrence is like the politician whose handlers have said, okay, no matter what they ask, you're going to talk about immigration as the answer. Okay. All answers lead to psychedelics for Terrence. All questions.
And in 1888, mescaline was extracted from that. I think it's not without implication that right at our moment of greatest cultural crisis, when we're destroying the environment and uprooting the rainforests and so forth and so on, that out of those same rainforests comes a phenomenon which, if we will face it squarely, offers a severe challenge to our notion of how reality works and how the world is put together.
And what if we miss it? What if we burn down finally enough of the rainforest that one plant that we could have used is destroyed?
Well, this may have already happened in the sense that there are many known cases of people collecting promising plants from only one known source and then returning a few months or years later to find the whole thing
gone,
paved over.
Terence describes a workable scenario. But my question with it is this. Is this a universal process or only a localized effect? I believe that one of the theories of modern physics describes that observations affect the process.
I feel like we have a jump in Art's reading of facts here.
Oh, maybe.
This sounds like his reading of facts voice to me.
Observed. Isn't it possible that the data, the random sticks in China, is somewhat skewed by what is being determined as to time Hasn't everybody noticed the phenomenon of time being perceived to slow down depending on how frequently you, for example, look at the clock? Cooks have noticed the same effect with boiling water. The quickening may be happening because we notice certain events and then notice more of the same as time goes along. In other words, we cause the process to occur, at least from our point of view. Ed in Nashville. Is this a moment of deep thinking?
Yes, well, I think it's a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. I think we are contributing to it as we
I can't have
uncover
dead
it
air,
within
man.
ourselves.
Yes.
Something is calling us toward itself, and as we approach it, we become more like it. Something is sculpting out of a primate body over a couple of million years an entirely different kind of creature. And as we go to meet this thing, which I call the transcendental mystery at the end of time, we are taking on more and more of its characteristics, its godlike power, its ability to span space and time.
Yes.
And when we finally do reach it, I imagine there will be a kind of effortless...
Yes.
What are you basing this on, Mr. McKenna? Just curiosity.
Well, we're taking on the traits that he imagines something has.
The transcendental being at the end of time. Yeah.
Right. Because he's really, the transcendental being at the end of time definitely wants the primates for some reason to have his qualities.
There's no other explanation for anything that's happened other than yeah. I also this really came out of nowhere, but anyways, yeah.
You've given me a couple yawns here, Dave.
It's been a long day.
It has been.
I'm okay to go for a bit longer, but let me. What do you think?
Well, normally I'm on the more yawny stage. You seem a little bit.
I have nothing I have to do tomorrow, so I'm fine. Like I can push on because I can just.
All right. Well, let's go to at least bottom of the hour here.
I am legitimately interested. Like this is. I'm just like this guy. Like where is he going? What is he pulling out? And I don't know if there's callers later on. We should have checked and seen because I would be because he's just whatever. Yeah.
Moment of merging and recognition.
Signposts along the way, life on Mars, maybe Europa, cloning.
The rise of the internet, virtual reality, nanotechnology, possibly alien artifacts, all that and more. One image I carry of this thing, Art, is those mirrored balls they hang in dance clubs?
Yes.
Well, the scintillations are distortions of the thing. And so as we approach this transcendental object at the end of time, there will be more and more breakdown of ordinary reality and more distorted scenarios of what it is.
That clearly is a process underway now.
Yes, and everyone is, through their own fears, religious training, hopes, they're trying to project, what is it? What is it? And there's a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty. I'm not afraid of it. One of the great things about the psychedelic aliens is they don't vibrate with this strange vibe that the fetal trading grays.
Vibrating used as a... The psychedelic ones don't vibrate at the same vibration as the other vibrating ones.
Crystals, Paul. They have their frequency they're vibrating at, and it can reject.
Yeah, I can tell
this is science.
I can tell the aliens who aren't cool because they're vibrating.
They're not like those psychedelic aliens.
Nope.
They show up in their ships and they're blowing up our statues of liberties and the Empire State buildings and Golden Gate bridges.
Fucking narc aliens showed up here, man. Brings down the buzz. Brings down the...
Hey, are you an alien cop? Because you have to tell me if you are. Not cool, man.
Cool, man. Cool. Who invited this vibrating alien?
I thought he was with you. No, I thought he was with you. Oh.
Of popular media vibrate with. It's a much more upbeat and affirmative kind of alien contact that occurs through the plants.
This one plant, or this one drug that you described,
dimethyltryptamine.
DMT. I don't know what that is.
Well, what makes it so attractive in a discussion like this, Art, is it's one of the most powerful of all the psychedelics, but it only lasts 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
So someone who has spent a lifetime dissing psychedelics or denying the existence of the paranormal, for that matter, should at least be willing to invest 5 minutes. We've never lost anybody. You pick yourself up and go on about your business.
5 minutes?
5 minutes.
The effects, could you describe them to much of my audience that I know can recall the effects of LSD or various mushrooms?
It's very different.
Very different, huh?
Well, LSD is a kind of psychological self-examination and strange thought processes and insights. What happens with DMT is there is the unmistakable feeling of having gone to a place. In other words, it comes on in about 15 seconds. And suddenly you're in a place, and this place is full of what I call self-dribbling, jeweled basketballs that are intelligent in some sense. They're like badly trained Rottweilers. They come bounding forward, and they're conducting some kind of a language lesson, because they have a language which you can see is the only way I can explain it.
Sounds like a pretty good trip, Dave. He's got bejeweled basketballs bouncing themselves and talking in languages you can see but not hear.
I mean, I would take that over some of the experiences I've had, for sure. Absolutely. That sounds much nicer. Yeah.
And it only lasts 5 minutes.
And it only lasts 5 minutes. Mm-hmm.
What is the source?
Except, you with your time and measuring time.
Why am I measuring? Boring, dumb measuring time like a jerk.
Look, my DMT experience.
Vibrating aliens.
It's not granular enough, or it's too granular. I'm unclear as to which to be measured by your science.
With the dumb, boring aliens who are inventing spaceships.
Sitting over there, vibrating, no
vibrating and shit. Yeah.
No hallucinogens at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think I've noticed I'm also slowing down, and I think all of a sudden we were just listening to him and not doing anything. Did you get closure on the point you were hoping for?
I mean, no, there's nothing. This guy's he's just going on. He likes the psychedelics. I'll tell you that for sure.
He sure does. That's not where I thought this was going to go. I thought maybe they would be more concerned that in 2012 the universe was ending. That didn't really seem to.
That's we've heard it. We've heard it.
There's
before. The Mayans have been saying it for literally thousands of years.
Yeah, no question about can we stop it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe if we do try and stop it, maybe that's what Art was trying to get with was the prime directive. Was like maybe we shouldn't try and stop it. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, Paul.
Yes, Steve.
Before we do anything,
super chat
facts. Yeah, from Kristen. First time super chat, but long time toast to toast fan. Well, frick, we're glad you're here. Off topic, but would you guys consider watching / reacting to Ancient Aliens? Have you ever watched an episode of Ancient Aliens, Paul?
So,
aliens. I love I can't remember the Greek guy, Miyazaki, whatever is it. Yes.
So there's someone in my life who and you've mailed things for.
Right. Okay.
Who, after I deconverted,
made
me promise to watch some Ancient Aliens.
Wow. Okay. Out of anything, that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yep.
will really.
Yep. We can talk about that off, but
I would really love to talk about that at some point. Actually.
yeah, not on air, but yeah, at some point. And honestly, I haven't done it. And I actually, interestingly, I do owe that person. I did promise that I would watch some Ancient Aliens. They wanted me to.
I would do that. I would do a.
But I don't know about the copyright. Well,
those
that's
the thing.
Streams end to get taken down.
We'd probably have to put it on like Patreon, like record it and put it on Patreon or something like that. I don't think we could just. Like we could do it on YouTube. I mean, there's a million YouTube channels that just react to things and stuff, but I feel like we would just be demonetized.
Well, no, but the other problem is, so they actually are more rigorous about live streams doing that stuff than about like a VOD when you upload later. It actually tends to go sometimes easier. But I don't mind doing some, because that might be interesting. I don't mind doing some.
I would legitimately like, okay, but sober not like I would love to watch some Ancient Aliens with you, like live watch it, just react it. And I don't know, like you said, I don't know what we could do. We probably, like you said, we probably couldn't live stream it. We would have to do, if we don't want to just immediately get hammered and shut down. You know, and Giorgio Sokol, yes, Giorgio is the best. He's oh my god, he's so good. That show is it's so good in all of the worst ways, Paul. Like, it's just the most insane nonsense. Like, just people who like the argument always comes down to like, well, but can you prove it wasn't aliens? It's like, well, no, I can't prove it wasn't aliens. So aliens. That's because you have like the odd actual legitimate scholar or somebody, right, who's just trying to being like, well, no, like I can't prove that an alien
right, they're being intellectually honest. Yeah.
Right, like but humans easily could have done this, like, but it's like but you can't prove it wasn't aliens, so alien. Yeah,
this is the advice we were talking about. I have heard that reputation before, so I'm not sure the logistics would have to be, but
so we'd have to
alternately I don't know if audio alone or if you podcast it or if you record it and edit it so that you,
I mean, it's like I sort of say it, but the old school, the people who do like Red Letter Me or whatever, where you just throw it behind a paywall, throw it on Patreon or whatever. So
sure,
it's like, you can watch our commentary to whatever, and it's just not on YouTube.
Yeah. Anyway.
Which does suck for fans, and we don't want to throw our content behind a paywall, but also then we don't get in trouble, and your YouTube channel doesn't get shut down because
turns out I need it.
Yeah, because of straight copyright protection. Yeah.
All right, Dave. Well, do you have a joke for us?
Paul, do I have a joke for you?
Yes.
For you?
Not for me, but for all of our friends who are.
Oh, well, for the people. Oh, well, before we do that, Paul.
Oh, we have another
super reason,
chat.
People are all of a sudden super chatting again. So apparently we can't stop.
Well, if people are going to keep super chatting, I'll stay up. I'm good.
If you're all willing to give us money, we'll keep doing this.
Mini Minute Man did a couple videos on Ancient Aliens recently, and Art Bell was featured.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, or clips of Art Bell, I assume, since rest in peace, Art Bell passed away quite some time ago. But yeah.
If Art Bell, if that might be the AI. If you hear a new interview with Art, that may not be.
People were saying that in chat. I don't know. It might have been Where's Waldo. I don't know who Mini Minute Man is. Do you?
I don't either.
Mean anything to you? Fair enough.
But thank you for that tip, and I will seek that out to see what's going on. Thank you.
Yes, I like anything that has to do with Art Bell, so I will check it out.
Cool.
And people say love Mini Minute Man, so there you go. Maybe that's a channel I have to check out.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. And there we go. Just seeing if anyone else goes super chat. Well, they're not. So, all right. You want a joke?
Yep.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Did you? Oh, well.
Sure. Just keep interrupting it.
Yeah.
Timothy Harmon. Stay up.
I mean, we've had 3 super chats in 5 minutes here.
minutes?
Do we listen to 10 more minutes of this show? Do we do something else?
Let's do it. We will.
Let's do it. Well, and there's another one.
There's another one.
There we go. Oh, okay. Mini Minuteman is an archaeologist.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a note because now I kind of actually do want to check this out.
We absolutely.
I'm no archaeologist, but I'm a fan of archaeology. And if an actual legitimate archaeologist is talking about Milo Rossi, Mini Minuteman, is talking about ancient aliens, I kind of want to see it because
absolutely.
DMT, is it a manufactured drug?
Can be, but its source is really in nature, in plants like Cotria viridis, Illinoisensis. There's a whole bunch of this Latin salad. Most of these are South American plants, but every ecosystem on Earth has DMT sources in it. In fact, the human brain naturally produces DMT. Why? We don't know, but I'd say there's a strong clue. Here's the drug that causes people to see little creatures, and this same substance occurs naturally in the human brain. Now, I'm not saying that's the answer to the UFO phenomenon, but how many people have looked at this and pursued it?
Well, then let me ask this. There are many who claim to have been abducted, Terence, and if DMT is a natural occurring substance in the brain, your theory could probably be verified by measuring those who have claimed to be abducted. Would such a measurement scientifically be possible?
Well, the problem is, you recall I said it only lasts 5 minutes. So unusual amounts of
also,
it in the...
Paul.
Yes, Dave.
As you are aware, neither of us have any professional background in medicine of any kind, nor would we claim such.
No.
But we're both aware there are many substances within the human brain and body
Yes.
that are fine in the minuscule amounts that they exist within and have very different, potentially all the way up to lethal effects.
Correct.
When introduced in much larger volumes. And to suggest that, like, well, DMT exists in the human brain, so, you know, just smoke a fuck ton of it and let's see what happens. This is probably explains everything. It's like, well, that's not how any of this works. No, that's nope. Just because something exists in the body already doesn't mean it's
you
cool.
can just pump as much in there as you want. Yeah.
Yeah. I was at I don't know if I'd say lecture. Are you aware of Nerd Night? Have you heard of Nerd Night?
No, but I can extrapolate what that might be.
Probably not, honestly. So Nerd Night is a thing. There's Nerd Nights. So it'll be like Nerd Night Boston, Nerd Night New York. It started in New York, and they're all over the world. There's places. So cities will have a Nerd Night. And what it is, it's always hosted in a bar. But there will be 3 or 4 essentially lectures / TED Talks. And it will be, so the one, I was at one this week, and it was an Egyptologist from the university talking about Egyptian coffins and sarcophaguses and funerary rites.
Sarcophagi.
The second one was about
I don't know.
The history of ghost stories in the city we're from. By the official archivist of the city, you know, but it was, so this wasn't, it was more about, it was kind of interesting. It was about why ghost stories are created and how, and, you know, kind of like, and they're vague on details and go and like kind of the patterns that repeat among ghost stories wherever and where they come from. But then it's like, here's the thing that actually, you know, like going through archives and historical records, this is an event that happened. And here's the kind of the ghost story that spun out, but the details are very vague, so you can't ever actually like pick up. And it was actually really interesting. And then the third one was a researcher from Colombia who was doing a lecture tour. It was through here about poison frogs.
Oh,
and
Okay.
the efforts to kind of identify and name various poison frog species before they become extinct, because identifying species goes a long way towards helping prevent that from being extinct, because then you can get it on endangered species list and all these different things. First, you have to classify it and give it a thing. But a slide that came up several times was don't lick toads or frogs, which is a thing that people do. And it's like almost universally, you will have a very bad time if you
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah.
right. And he was like, but he was like, you can get like sickness, diarrhea up to death. He's like, there are a very, very few that can produce various hallucinogenic effects, but 99.98% of the time, it's like you're just gonna have a very bad time. Don't ever lick a frog toad. He sort of came back, and then question came up is like, do people do anything? Like, yes, people really do this. Tourists in South America really do this. He's like, please.
Yeah. Well, and
it's kind of like the don't eat the Tide Pods, right?
Yeah.
I'm legitimately telling you, please, you will have a bad time. Do not eat a Tide Pod. It was the don't lick frogs. I don't care what you saw in The Simpsons. Don't.
That's what I was gonna say. The Simpsons probably caused that problem. Yep.
According to him, it predates The Simpsons. The
Okay.
Simpsons was referencing something that was actually happening, but it certainly probably didn't help. But
Exasperated, I'm sure.
Don't lick toads. It doesn't. It doesn't go well. Yeah.
We had a super chat a while back from Miss Bolin.
Mrs. Bolin.
More super chat to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some new information from Brandon Runyon.
Yes.
Who says, I met Giorgio Sokolos. Is that host of that alien show?
Sokolos, yes, that's the alien guys.
So he's the one that has the alien meme.
And he has a crazy hair. Yeah, the crazy hair.
Okay, so I know who that is. Yeah.
Giorgio. Yeah, that's
George Norrie, who took over for art on many of the shows. At the same event, Giorgio is as douchey as he seems. All right.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not licking toads.
Funny.
Licking bullfrogs in Florida is a misdemeanor. Well, now I know, and also don't do it because they carry all kinds of diseases. Yep.
All right, you yawned again.
But Paul, we keep getting super chats.
All right, fine.
I'm not going to stand in the way of the people.
Baseline.
You might want to stand
against transient.
I believe in democracy. What do you believe in?
I'm Canadian, therefore I'm socialist.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Drugs in the body ever observed. And an interesting thing about it is when they measure its presence, they look at human cerebrospinal fluid, and they've discovered that it reaches its greatest concentration there between 3 and 4 in the morning. Well, that's when people are doing the intense REM dreaming.
Yes.
I think the Australian Aboriginals have this concept of the dream time.
I don't think you're a data point that can be used on any sleep study.
No, I don't.
Unless it's a graph about what the fuck is up with this guy's sleep.
I feel like my greatest novelty is in my sleep. If you had to graph sleep patterns, that would be where I'm.
I feel like if somebody invented a treatment or machine where you just didn't have to sleep anymore, that would be the single happiest day of your life.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I would love that.
If you could not sleep and also not go insane, that would. Yeah.
Like if I could take like a daily supplement that gave me whatever, REM, whatever I needed, the minimum required, not like a full night's sleep, just whatever the minimum is to not die.
I mean, ideally you would get a full night's sleep. It's just like whatever thing. It's like you had a full 8 hours. You can just feel that way by drinking this. Yeah.
That I would become addicted to, and there'd be a problem. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then you could just you could work 24 hours a day.
I could. That would be great.
Meantime, the chemistry of DMT, the abduction stories together, and the depth with which modern media has programmed and messed with people, you're we're very close to being able to begin to talk about the alien phenomenon. I think there are aliens, but I think they can only reach us through our minds. They don't cross the universe in ships of titanium. They don't even project holograms of themselves into the desert air. They come through the human mind. And if you look at the human mind, in all cultures and in all times...
Because I take psychedelics, and that's where they show up.
Because they take psychedelics, and that's where they show up. Yeah. Yeah, Art's not liking this.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Because Art likes the aliens that do show up in titanium.
That's right, he does. Those are his favorite.
Times and places, except Western Europe, the human mind has always been haunted by sprites, gnomes, nixies, elves.
Yes.
So I don't see the UFO, the modern wave, as anything more than the latest wave of this mysterious relationship we have with disembodied minds through the imagination. Well, then people say, well, so this is the old psychological reduction argument. No.
Oh, yeah.
Paul,
this is just the old psychological...
Trotting it out.
Yeah.
Beating a dead horse, Dave.
Come on. I thought we'd all move past that.
Right. I can't believe in this day and age, in this year of the Lord, 1997, that we're still talking about.
We're still talking about this old psychological
reductionism. Yeah.
Anyways, aliens are in our
human imagination. I don't mean some paltry psychological function. I think the human imagination is the largest part of us and where we're going to spend most of the rest of human history.
How is
post 2012?
Right, because when Timewave Zero gets us.
Yeah, as we all just ascend to a new form of consciousness and imagination, which, by the way, is very similar to the psychedelics that I very much enjoy.
DMT's natural.
Yeah, it's in your brain all the time.
Such a theory greeted by the majority of people who listen to it? I mean, right now I'm getting a lot of faxes, and a lot of people are really hearing what you're saying. Even though you've got to listen very carefully, they're hearing what you're saying, Terence, and a lot of them are agreeing with you.
That is an Art Bell backhanded.
That's
a classic Art.
Even though you gotta listen really carefully.
You sure gotta listen carefully, but there's something there.
That's about as strong as I ever heard him get about.
Amazing.
Who was the one? We have a show somewhere. I can't remember. It was a surprise. It was not the scheduled guest. Somebody canceled and he brought somebody on.
Yeah.
Who wasn't meant to be the guest. So like Art didn't know really anything.
Yeah, I vaguely recall something like that, but I don't remember any details.
But Art was just like, he was not having it. Whatever this, I'm trying to remember what the show was, but he was just like, I've never heard him so like openly hostile to a guest. Like just was like, no, that's nonsense and you're crazy. Like I've heard him be that way with callers, but never with the guest. But this
normally with the guest, it's yes and. It's like, always just yes and, yes and,
yeah,
yes
and.
And.
Like, this must be because this wasn't the scheduled guy. This was the emergency fill-in. Right. It was like a flight or something. He sort of like there was something. It was really like a day of something had come up where this person just can't do the show. So Art, like who's available? Like through the Rolodex, who really wants to be on? Oh, this Yahoo. Yeah. And then Art was just like, whatever. Just clearly couldn't be bothered with whatever this guy said. But this is for people who are a scheduled guest that he's going, that's his
that's about as dismissive as I've heard, yeah.
As I've heard. Art is clearly a clear indication that Art's like, yeah, this guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, interesting. That may have been the Hovid interview.
No, it wasn't Hovind. He was not up with Hovind. He was, because he wasn't openly he kept trying to get Hovind was a scheduled guest that he went, and we did it. But Art just wasn't like, he wanted Hovind, like, he's like, what about like this, and he just kept trying to throw his doctrine and go, and Art was like, I'm not interested in talking about religion.
Yeah.
I want to talk about dinosaurs and things, and Hovind didn't want to. So that was just kind of it was a hostile interview. I don't know if that, like, in that it was just like the two guests could never get on the same page. No, that's not the one we're talking about. I'd have to look through our list and see. There was one where Art was straight up hostile to the main guest, and it was hilarious.
The one interview I've yet to find is Bart Ehrman. I've talked to Bart about this show that we do. So, whatever. And he's convinced that he got interviewed by Art Bell. So he's been on Coast to Coast a few affirmed times, and the two I found weren't Art, but Bart and Art still. Art still feels like Art was one of the ones that he did. Because not all the episodes have been preserved, right? Like there's some.
No, they have not.
There, so
I have hundreds and hundreds of episodes
yeah.
of Art Bell, but I don't even have close to all of them.
Yeah. So anyway, that I don't know what made me think of that, but because people talk about Kent Hovind. Yeah, anyway. That was where it was one of those where my worlds were colliding.
There's going to be a big body of very violent disagreement too, isn't there?
Well, yes. There are some very large eggs at stake in this game. I mentioned science and
steak and eggs.
Oh man, I could go for some steak and eggs.
The need to revive probability theory. There's a lot of vested interest in certain versions of what the UFO phenomenon is. But you see, what I bring to all of this, and speaking for the psychedelic,
is absolute credulity.
Absolute credulity, yes.
Community. What we bring to all of this is not simply another rap or another tall tale, but a method.
Oh, no, I hear that. So then would you suggest that sightings of UFOs, abduction encounters, are, if you could be there measuring a burst of DMT, you'd certainly find it at that moment?
I think you would find it. And I think you would also, another place where you would find it is at human death. I think this is very important.
Human death?
At human death. I think as we die, we have, if we haven't had it, a DMT trip. I also think probably every night in these deep dream states, we penetrate into realms from which we can remember almost nothing.
Well, then, that would be another moment at which you should be able to measure a spike in DMT.
Here's my hypothesis. Every night, we do something that you can't remember. Okay.
And also something really cool happens when you die.
Yeah.
But, we can't... So far, we haven't been able to ask anybody about it. We're hoping that goes.
So my little super chat thing is broken here, but I do have a member chat here.
We do, yes.
From
Vintage Joe Hill.
Yes. Who says, love you guys. Thank you so much.
We love you too, Joe Hill. In a very real and physical way. I'm talking about Paul in this case. I just think you're cool.
I just think you're neat.
Yeah.
Just all right, Dave. Neat. I think we're closing her out.
That's it. That's it. I finished my last beer. I'm not pouring any more.
Yeah, I also finished my drink. So are we? Do you still have a joke queued up?
Oh, I still got a joke.
All right.
I got a joke for you, Paul. Hey, Paul.
Yes, Dave.
Did you hear the police report about the nightclub worker who was thrown off the 10th floor balcony at the hotel?
I did not.
Police have confirmed that he was not a bouncer.
Very good.
we can't comment more. It's an ongoing investigation.
I love it. Amazing.
There you go. There
Good
you
one.
go.
Good one. Good
Yeah.
one. All right, everyone. Well, it's been a minute, so hopefully we are going to be back to more regular schedule next little while. But we'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see how it goes. We love hanging with you guys. This was fun. You guys made it fun. Mr. Psychedelic, Time Zero guy, and I guess we're all in purgatory. So live your life accordingly.
There you go.
All right.
And,
Any final words?
And who knows? Maybe we'll figure out some way to watch Ancient Aliens and
and look up the other guy that we need to look up. All right. Thanks, everyone. Night.
bye. And that's the end of our show. Jazz hands.
And we're out.
And we're out.